Game or something there.
MVPs, Cy Young winners, all-stars. They're playing for more than accolades. These are the best players in the world, setting aside their MLB rivalries for national pride.
To be able to put those colors on and put USA across the chest, I'm very thankful.
20 countries, generations of passion, all with one goal, to become a world champion. This is SiriusXM's exclusive coverage of the World Baseball Classic. Live from Lone Depot Park in Miami, here are MLB Network Radio's Ryan Spilborghs and Mike Farron.
Tonight, it's the finals of the 2026 World Baseball Classic as the U.S. makes its third consecutive appearance in the finals, looking for their second gold medal against first-time finalist Venezuela, looking to take home the championship for the first time. The producer of our broadcast on site tonight is Hunter Reiser, our studio producer John Silk, our engineer Daryl Doss. With Danny Wexelman and Ryan Spilborghs, I'm Mike Farron. Billy, this is it. We get to see two star-studded lineups tonight as Aaron Judge is leading the U.S. out onto the field, holding the American flag.
This feels every bit like a big finals. We've been waiting to watch this. Traveling from Houston to Miami, you can hear the crowd in the background when Venezuela came out with Luis Ariz carrying the flag. This feels like a monster of a game, a Super Bowl. It feels so big.
The last time these two teams met was in the quarterfinals in 2023. Trey Turner's grand slam brought the U.S. back to win. Kyle Schwarber, the DH for the U.S., was on that team. He joined Danny Wexelman and Xavier Scruggs on our pregame coverage.
On the field pregame ahead of the finals for the World Baseball Classic, here with designated hitter Kyle Schwarber. It has been electric. What's it felt like for you being a part of this, now down to the final game?
Yeah, it's always amazing. This experience has been just as better as the other one. I feel like every year that they do this, it just keeps growing and growing. The atmospheres have been great. The teams have been great. You can't ask for anything more. And just to be able to represent your country, and I always say that's the best part about our game, is that we have so many different cultures within our game that everyone gets to go and play for theirs, and you see so many different experiences, so many different atmospheres that it's been so much fun.
A lot of guys, talk about your leadership and kind of what you're able to do in the clubhouse. But just from a new experience with relationships this year, is there anybody that you've gotten to know that maybe you didn't know so well that you've been able to pour into, or you guys been able to develop something nice?
I just feel like we've done, collectively, we've done a really good job of just trying to make this a team, because it's what it's going to have to take for us to win. And we started off really well right away in camp in Arizona, and just getting to know each other, having great meetings, and dinners, whatever it is, to try to just connect with every single person. And we know that you saw last game against Dominican. It can be a 2-1 game, it can be a 15-5 game, whatever it is, that you have to always be prepared for what's thrown at you and always come together as a team at the end of the day.
I think part of that too is just the noise, right? And the Venezuelans, we know, are going to be loud tonight, but how do you use that energy and noise to your advantage?
Yeah, we thrive for that. That's what we want. We want noise, we want energy. Us as players, whenever we're out there and we're seeing that and we're feeling it, we want that. And if it's for the other team, it's our job to thrive off it, to quiet it down, and to try to get our fans on their feet, right? That's what it's all about, and that's why we love the game.
Obviously, you don't want to change anything from a collective standpoint, but just for you, what might be some of the keys for you guys to ultimately get it done tonight?
Yeah, I think just the biggest thing is just doing what we do best, is go up there, take our bats. I feel like our defense has been unbelievable. It starts there with the pitching and defense. They've been doing such a great job for us, and us at the plate, just staying within ourselves, doing our job. Everyone say themselves, everyone's here for a reason, and we're the best at what we do, and we got to continue to go out there and do it.
Enjoy tonight. Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Kyle.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Kyle Schwarber with Danny Wexelman and Xavier Scruggs in our pregame coverage for the championship game of the World Baseball Classic. Really cool tonight that the U.S. team is wearing game-worn hockey jerseys from Team USA in the Olympics. The men's team sending them. Watching some of the reactions of players when they opened them on social media today was really cool.
Yeah, it was funny seeing Aaron Judge and Jack Hughes, his jersey or his sweater, just because Aaron's so much bigger than Jack. But at the same time, there's a lot at stake here, right? That just your opportunity to represent your country in an unbelievable tournament that's just meant to grow the game. And I love it. I love that the U.S. is embracing it finally. We've kind of seen them a little bit passive with some of the stuff. Venezuela on the other side, they've embraced everything from drums to arepas. And since they've been in Miami for so long, they're so caffeinated with the cafecitos that they don't even need any extra environment or energy that this stadium's providing right now.
Right now, they are doing the introductions of both teams, and if you saw any of the All-Star game this year with the holograms that they did for the Henry Aaron tribute for 7:15, this is very similar. There are holograms of the players in the starting lineups that are being shown on the field. There are bright spotlights that are shining on both teams as they're lined up on the baselines. It is not like anything that we have seen at a baseball game before for the way that the teams are being introduced. It is a really cool in-stadium experience right now for being able to see this, and this is kind of this new technology that baseball has gotten involved with of late.
Almost picture the Olympic Games, the starting, the big opening ceremony. That's what we're experiencing right now with the light show, dances. There was dancers before. They had almost like line dancers and different versions of it for all the different countries that have been represented. We love pomp and circumstance, but this is at another level.
Pitching matchup tonight, Nolan McLean, the New York Mets young hurler, will get the ball for Team USA. Veteran lefty Eduardo Rodriguez will start for Venezuela. You guys who aren't in the lineup but have a very special connection are on the Venezuelan lineup. Wilson and William Contreras are both part of Team Venezuela, the former All-Stars. This is a star-studded Venezuelan team, and they are two of the big stars on it. Earlier today, as part of our pregame coverage here from Miami on the field at Lone Depot Park, Danny Wexelman and Xavier Scruggs caught up with the brothers.
All right, welcome you back live in Miami. Venezuela finishing up batting practice. We're with the Contreras brothers right now. So much emotion we have seen from your team. How do you describe your emotions ahead of the finals tonight against the United States?
Something like bigger for us, bigger for the country too. We're going to be one of the best in Venezuela team in the Baseball Classic. We're going to do the best today.
Wilson, what's this like experiencing it with your brother and getting to do it together and really be on the final stage here?
It's an amazing experience. I think spending time with my brother on the WBC is the best thing that ever happened in my life. Being playing for Venezuela is in another level. But having this guy back day in, day out, watching him go through his business is a bless.
Growing up in Venezuela, describe what baseball was like. What did it look like for you? Paint us a picture.
I think we just play baseball with a piece of paper and a stick in a small land. We're coming from Santa Cruz, Puerto Cabello. We have nothing there but rocks and piece of wood. And we were just kids playing baseball, dreaming of playing the big leagues. And now that we're here, I think our dream are fulfilled.
This is going to be a home game tonight for Venezuela. How does that feel to have the passionate fans behind your back knowing that you're playing for them?
Amazing. I think we're playing for them. This is our first WBC. I'm enjoying as much as I can. I know that I haven't played like 6 days, but I've been the best cheerleader for my team. I think I'm having the best attitude. Cheering for these guys is the best thing that could ever happen. And like I said before, we're not playing for ourselves. We're not playing for our names. We're playing for Venezuela, and we want to bring the championship back home.
What do you want fans to know about Venezuelan fans?
I want to let them know we are the best country in the Latin trade. Venezuela is the first time in the final. We're going to do the best today. We just need 27 outs, and it's going to be a team for the country.
Wilson, on the back of your jersey, you have everybody. I just want to show you have everybody's name. And I think that's so cool that you got everybody's signature. What made you decide to do that?
Because we create a family here. From day one, we create a family, a good chemistry with everybody, and that's how I feel. I felt like I had to do something for the team, and I had everybody sign my jersey, representing Venezuela, representing our families and our country, and that's what the best experience is like. Everything for my team, I'll do anything, and they know that is right.
Guys, thank you so much. Have fun tonight. Thank you.
Go take care of business.
The Contreras brothers, William and Wilson Contreras, with Danny Wexelman and Xavier Scruggs. We'll tell you how these teams got here, get you the lineups, the first pitch, and all the play-by-play action. Coming up next, you're listening to SiriusXM's exclusive coverage of the World Baseball Classic Finals on MLB Network Radio.
Hear the Masters exclusively on SiriusXM Channel 92.
It's a grand slam roar at Augusta National.
Hear every incredible shot.
On his way to the hole, and he's got it. A fist bump from McIlroy. He's taking the lead in the Masters.
And all the dramatic moments as the best golfers in the world try to win the coveted green jacket.
Oh, and it goes in the hole. Scotty Scheffler, eagle.
Tune into Masters Radio this April on Channel 92 in the car and on the SiriusXM app. Remember the voices you grew up with? Jokes you heard 100 times and still laugh at? On SiriusXM Comedy Greats, the legends never fade. Jerry Seinfeld, Chris Rock, Rodney Dangerfield, Joan Rivers. It's an all-star lineup every time. No trends, no filters. Just the greats doing what they do best. SiriusXM Comedy Greats, Channel 94. Timeless laughs, always in season. Catch up anytime using the SiriusXM app.
Every night in the NBA, the games become more important, and when you want a spirited debate that meets the moment, you need SiriusXM NBA Radio's NBA Today.
Maybe he can win the MVP, that's a question. What's not a question is him winning Defensive Player of the Year. That's easy.
Weekdays at 4 Eastern, Justin Termini and Eddie Johnson give you insight with energy and analysis with an edge.
Let those guys in the front office run the damn team, dude.
The destination for the association, SiriusXM NBA Radio, Channel 86 in the car, and on the SiriusXM app.
Tonight, it's the finals of the World Baseball Classic. A pair of superstars, Ken Griffey Jr. and Miguel Cabrera, throwing out the first pitches to Cal Raleigh and Victor Martinez as the U.S. and Venezuela get set to play tonight at Lone Depot Park in Miami. Here's how the semifinals unfolded. For the U.S., they took on the mighty Dominican lineup that was averaging more than 10 runs a game. Their pitching shut them down, and in the fourth inning, after Gunnar Henderson homered to tie it, Roman Anthony faced the former All-Star Gregory Soto. 1-1 our score, the 3-2 pitch. Anthony rockets one deep to center field. Rodriguez looks up. It's gone! Roman Anthony gives Team USA a 2-1 lead on a blast to right center. The Dominican would leave 8 men on base in a 2-1 loss as the U.S. made its third consecutive final. Last night, Venezuela was trailing Cinderella Italy 2-1 in the 7th. When they mounted a 2-out rally with 4 straight singles, the go-ahead run driven in by the cool, calm, collected Kansas City All-Star Michael Garcia. Lorenzen set the 2-0, swinging a liner, left field, that'll get down for a base hit. Churio around third, he's coming home, the throw to third, Acuna's safe. Venezuela has the lead. It's 3-2. A 3-run 7th inning for Venezuela sent them on to victory at a very noisy Lone Depot Park and into their first ever WBC final. And that's where we are tonight, Spilly. Nolan McLean getting the ball for Team USA. He will be opposed by the left-hander Eduardo Rodriguez for Venezuela. This is your first exposure in the WBC to Venezuelan crowd last night. Your thoughts?
Wow. I mean, even post-game when we were leaving the stadium, and it wasn't just that the crowd was celebrating with you know, it was dancing, it was singing, it was amazing. We even watched throughout the game Jose Altuve, who was part of Team Venezuela before, sitting in the front row. He was getting encouraged by his former teammates to come in the dugout, and he was just saying, no, I'm good, I'm good, chewing on my fingernails and just stressing about it. Tonight for Team USA and Venezuela to be on this stage, and it's crazy to think, you know, we go back to March 2nd when we first started seeing these guys and these teams starting to work out together, how quickly they've come together as a unit, both sides, and then play baseball at such a high level this tournament really is something special. I mean, it's capturing since it's first started, it's only grown. We saw more people watching the Dominican-USA game than you could see for, a postseason game during a major league season. What this tournament has become, I think, is something that a lot of people should be proud of. We know that the impact that this tournament has, not just for these players specifically, but for the federations that they go back to because of some of the financial components that go with it. This is an amazing tournament. I cannot wait for tonight.
Well, the managers are at home plate. They've just exchanged a friendly bro hug. Let's get you the starting lineups for both of these teams. The U.S. won a coin toss yesterday since both teams had the same record. They will be the home team. And here is the lineup for Omar Lopez for Team Venezuela. Former National League MVP Ronald Acuna Jr. from the Braves will lead off and play right field. Michael Garcia of the Kansas City Royals, the All-Star and Gold Glover, bats second and plays third base. Three-time batting champion Luis Arraez of the San Francisco Giants will hit third and play first. Eugenio Suarez, a two-time All-Star from the Cincinnati Reds, in the cleanup spot as the designated hitter. Former Gold Glove Award winner Ezekiel Tovar will bat fifth and play shortstop. Gleyber Torres, a four-time All-Star from the Detroit Tigers, plays second base. Two-time Gold Glove Award winner Wilyer Abreu is in left field batting seventh. The eighth place hitter is Salvador Perez, the five-time All-Star from the Kansas City Royals, and batting ninth and playing center field, 22-year-old phenom Jackson Chourio for the Team Venezuela from the Milwaukee Brewers. Now for Team USA, here is Mark DeRosa's lineup. Bobby Witt Jr. of the Kansas City Royals will lead off and play shortstop. Two-time MVP Bryce Harper from the Phillies bats second and plays first base. Three-time MVP Aaron Judge from the Yankees is in right field. Kyle Schwarber, the All-Star DH for the Phillies, in the cleanup spot. Alex Bregman will bat fifth and play third base from the Chicago Cubs. Roman Anthony of the Red Sox hits sixth and plays left field. Will Smith of the Dodgers will bat sixth and do the catching. Batting eighth and playing second base is Bryce Terang from the Milwaukee Brewers. And hitting ninth and playing center field from the Minnesota Twins is Byron Buxton, with the right-hander Nolan McLean on the mound. The umpires for tonight's game, Dan Bellino will call the balls and strikes behind the plate. He is the crew chief. Corey Blazer is at first, Jeremy Rehack at second, Chris Graham from Canada at third, Delphine Colon from Puerto Rico in left field, Cudi Suarez from Spain is in right. The dimensions here at Marlins Park, 344 down the line and left, 386 to left center, 400 to center, 387 to right center, 350 down the line and right. And here comes Team USA. They are huddled around the third base dugout, just outside it. A final meeting as Bryce Harper and Aaron Judge lead them onto the field. And the young fireballing right-hander from the New York Mets, Nolan McLean, struts confidently to the mound.
Well, you better if you're Nolan McLean, just because this game, with this lineup that Venezuela has, is going to be a tough task. And for Nolan McLean, we know his fastball sits right around 96 miles an hour. It's a four-seam sinker combo, but where his bread and butter, it's his curveball. His curveball and how he can spin it is elite. And what we saw last night with Aaron Nola against Venezuela was he went soft. He threw a lot of off-speed pitches and hitters counts. He did not challenge him much with fastballs, and if he did, he was outside the strike zone. And that was a formula that we saw Italy do to Venezuela throughout the entire game until Michael Lorenzen ran into some trouble. And Venezuela's approach up until the seventh inning, it was big fly. They were looking for the big hit. If they learned anything last night, it is to be calm. It is to use the big part of the field. It is you are going to get a lot of off-speed pitches, and if they make that adjustment, USA is going to be in a really difficult position to beat Venezuela because Venezuela's bullpen has been unbreakable.
14 and a third consecutive scoreless innings for the Venezuelan pen as they have shut the door in the game against Japan. A comeback victory and last night a comeback win against Italy. Can they do it again and give the nation of Venezuela their first ever WBC title? Team USA in their home whites. The road blues with gray pants for Team Venezuela. And the cheers you hear are for the former National League MVP, Ronald Acuna Jr., who will lead things off. It's the finals of the World Baseball Classic, a sellout crowd in Miami tonight with the roof closed. Nolan McLean, the righty, the 24-year-old's first pitch of the ball game is lined into center field, a base hit for Acuna. Over to get it is Byron Buxton. One pitch, one base runner for Venezuela tonight.
Here we go. They're already banging on the bongos. Just love the approach from Acuna. It wasn't an overswing. He just seemed under control, got a fastball he could handle, and just ripped it right back up the middle. Nolan McLean's reaction was like, all right.
It's on.
It is on.
Michael Garcia from the Kansas City Royals. Over to first, and Acuna dives back. Acuna last year had 10 at stolen base attempts, but he's a guy that has had a ton of success as a base stealer, a 70 stolen base season in his MVP year. First pitch to the right-handed hitting Garcia, misses outside. It's 1-0.
This has been the best hitter for Venezuela. Just very consistent, tough out, doesn't punch.
Pitch. That one on the ground to third, could be two. Bregman has it on the second hop, to second for one. Fired to first is Terang. It's a double play. 5-4-3, 2 outs.
Well, Venezuela punched first, and U.S. with their defense, they punched back. Bregman had a little trouble getting the ball out of his glove to Terang, but Terang with such a great arm at second base is fired a strike to first.
2 outs for Luis Arraez, the three-time batting champion. Left-handed hitter has a couple of home runs in this tournament. Pitch inside, 1-0. I mentioned it before, Spilly. The last time these two teams met in the WBC was an epic clash. A back-and-forth affair between them in the quarterfinals in 2023. And Arraez was a big part of that as he skies it to center. Byron Buxton walks in a couple of steps to make the catch. And a very tidy 6-pitch first inning for Nolan McLean. We head to the bottom of the first. It's Venezuela nothing, Team USA nothing. You're listening to the finals of the World Baseball Classic on SiriusXM and the SiriusXM app.
When your favorite sports shows are talking football or basketball, it's always baseball season on MLB Network Radio on SiriusXM.
It is gone!
With a lineup full of experts, it's a daily insider's perspective from former players and executives. The national pastime all the time. MLB Network Radio on SiriusXM. Don't miss out on a free 3-month trial to SiriusXM. SiriusXM.com/WBC26.
Nobody brings you closer to our national pastime than MLB Network Radio on SiriusXM.
That's what's amazing about baseball.
It's a daily insider's perspective featuring former players, managers, and executives, and on-site coverage of the biggest moments.
And the World Series win for LA!
This is the place for live baseball talk. MLB Network Radio, Channel 89, and the SiriusXM app.
Hey, this is Jeff Foxworthy.
This is Larry the Cable Guy.
And we're excited to tell you about our exclusive SiriusXM channel.
Jeff and Larry's Comedy Roundup. Every hour of every day, we're going to bring you the best comedy from some of the best and our favorite comedians.
Like Nate Borgazzi, Dusty Slay, and Leanne Morgan, just to name a few.
By the way, she owes me money.
And we each host our own shows every week.
Jeff and Larry's Comedy Roundup.
SiriusXM 97. Your home for great American comedy.
One subscription to SiriusXM gets you live sports, including every game of the NBA, NHL, MLB, and NFL. Go to SiriusXM.com/WBC26 for a free trial.
Every game of the NCAA tournament is on SiriusXM. The first floor is underway. You can hear Westwood One's coverage of the first floor on College Sports Radio, Channel 84, and the SiriusXM app. For channel numbers of all the tournament games, go to SiriusXM.com/sports. No score, bottom of the first inning, finals of the World Baseball Classic. Team USA and Venezuela. And Bobby Witt Jr. will lead off for Team USA against the lefty from the Arizona Diamondbacks, Eduardo Rodriguez. The veteran left-hander working from the third base side of the rubber. Into the windup, and the first pitch to Witt is swung on and hit high in the air, deep to center field, going back on in his Churio. He's got his arms outstretched, and he makes the catch 2 steps onto the warning track, just to the left of dead center, 1 out.
Ding, ding, Mike. I mean, these guys are coming out firing, and for Eduardo Rodriguez, some of the numbers that stood out for me, average exit velocity is high. Like, he gets hit hard, and for Eduardo, when he's at his best, he's mixing and matching, using his changeup effectively, but he's not going to have a lot of wiggle room here with Team USA.
No score, 1 out for Bryce Harper. First pitch, and he swings and misses, almost down to a knee on that fastball at 92. It's 0-1. Harper 4 for 24. He had a double in the U.S.'s 2-1 win over the Dominican in the semifinals, the 0-1. He takes off the plate, and the count 1-1. The numbers aren't great for Harper in this, just 4 for 24, Spilly, but the quality of the at-bats have been way better.
They have gotten a lot better. It's all about timing for Bryce.
The 1-1. He swings and pops it up. Out into shallow left, the shortstop Ezekiel Tovar makes the catch. And 2 quick outs for Rodriguez in the first. Neither team letting the starter settle in, trying to jump him right away.
Well, that's a good approach, too, because you don't want to allow anybody to feel confident that they can throw pitches whenever they want. 5-pitch inning for McLean. This could be a 5-pitch inning for Eduardo.
2 outs for Aaron Judge. The first pitch is a strike. On the inside corner, it's 0-1. Judge, the captain of Team USA, 6 for 23 with a couple of home runs. The right-handed hitter waits. He takes low, and the count 1-1. 3-time MVP, first player to commit to Team USA this time. He has had a big impact defensively in this tournament, the 1-1. He takes low, the count 2-1. Judge has thrown out 2 base runners trying to go first to third for a guy who missed time with an elbow injury and had to DH last year. That was a really good sign. Rodriguez winds in the 2-1. Judge swings and pops it up. Foul territory, first base side, but it'll reach the seats.
All right, fastball for Eduardo's already touched 95. Change-up, he's thrown it for a strike already. I hear the crowd yelling, ponche, meaning strike him out.
Waving their arms at Judge, the pitch. Down low, called strike 3. A delayed call by Dan Bellino. And Judge is shaking his head as he takes off his equipment near home plate. A 1-2-3 first for Eduardo Rodriguez. He needed just 9 pitches to get through inning number 1. We head to the second. The U.S. and Venezuela scoreless as a SiriusXM's exclusive radio coverage of the finals of the World Baseball Classic.
That is what happened. I ain't guessing, I'm telling you.
Nobody breaks down the nightly drama of the NBA quite like Stephen A.
See, it's the theater. It ain't just a game. It's the theater of the game. You got to live for that.
The Stephen A. Smith Show on SiriusXM.
Oh, it's going to be special. It's going to be special.
Weekdays at 1 and 6 Eastern.
A show so nice, you get it twice.
On Mad Dog Sports Radio, Channel 82 in the car, and the SiriusXM app.
You're live with Stephen A.
This show is phenomenal.
Big moments bring us together. So do great laughs. Welcome to SiriusXM Pure Comedy. Clean stand-up, feel-good favorites, and laughs you can share with anyone.
You're in your shower, you're daydreaming, and then you can't remember if you shampooed your hair. Oh, please, I had to backtrack in my own shower.
No cursing, no stress. Just comedy that feels good. Pure comedy. Laugh more. Feel better. SiriusXM Channel 98.
Build a championship fantasy baseball team with the advice of SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio.
Early round drafting, focus on players that can impact as many categories as possible.
Hear winning strategies and player projections from ex-big league general managers Jim Bowden and Steve Phillips.
I'm definitely going to take a position player with my first 2 picks.
Get ready for your drafts by listening to our experts drafts right now on the SiriusXM app, and catch all your fantasy baseball talk on Channel 87.
You're listening to the World Baseball Classic on MLB Network Radio. Tune in to the leadoff spot tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Eastern as we react to all the big moments from all the WBC action.
Country superstar Morgan Wallen is launching an exclusive year-round channel on SiriusXM, and we're celebrating with a special invitation-only concert at the Pinnacle in Nashville, and you could be there. Our grand prize winner and guest will receive air, hotel, and tickets to see Morgan Wallen. For official rules and to enter, go to SiriusXM.com/Morgan Wallen Nashville by March 26th. No purchase necessary. Must be a U.S. resident and at least 21 years old. Void where prohibited. To the second inning, no score. Venezuela and the U.S. Nolan McLean efficient in the first. Here's Eugenio Suarez to lead off for Venezuela as he takes inside a ball 1-0. It'll be Suarez, Gleyber Torres, and Ezequiel Tovar against the big right-hander, the 1-0. He tried to check his swing. He went around on a fastball at 98. It's 1-1.
Watching his takes on fastballs, he's late. Yesterday when he hit the home run, it came on an off-speed pitch that he hooked.
There's the 1-1. Bouncer foul, third base side. Another fastball at the top of the zone. It's 1-2.
You can just tell certain hitters right now, if they're not on the fastball, you'll see them jumping. And that's exactly what you see with Gino Suarez.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Chased a breaking ball off the plate, and the leadoff man gone in the Venezuela second. One out for Gleyber Torres, no score. Nolan McLean, former third-round draft pick of the New York Mets back in 23, and then after he was an unsigned third-rounder by the Orioles in 22. Out of Oklahoma State University, he was a two-way player there. First pitch to the right-handed hitting Gleyber Torres, a strike. It's 0-1. McLean was actually a part of a very famous 18U team for Team USA in 2019. The pitch lands a breaking ball for a strike. It's 0-2. Where he played first base for them and also was a closer. And a home run and a save in the 18U World Cup. Breaking ball called strike 3 at the bottom of the zone. Torres can't believe it. And McLean working very quickly and very sharp. 2 up, 2 down in the second.
Well, that curveball was a strike. And for Gambolino, I know he wasn't a fan for Aaron Judge, but the curveball buckles Gleyber Torres, and the strikeout of Aaron Judge was a strike with the backdoor cutter. So as much as we talk about the umpires, Bolino's been good.
2 outs for Ezequiel Tovar, who swings and fouls off the first pitch. It's 0-1. No score. Venezuela batting, top of the second. Finals of the World Baseball Classic tonight. Bolino will walk a new baseball out to Nolan McLean. McLean, as you mentioned, just 24 years old. He took the league by storm in his 8 starts with the Mets last year, where he was dominant. The 0-1. Swinging a soft fly ball into shallow right. Judge coming on, and I'll have to play it on 2 bounces. A 2-out single for Tovar in the top of a scoreless second.
Tovar's had a nice tournament for Venezuela. A little sweeper away from him. He was in a 2-strike mode. Just hits it right off the end of the bat.
That'll bring up Wilyer Abreu. Abreu, the young Red Sox outfielder who hit the go-ahead home run against Japan in the quarterfinals. Bring them back from a 5-2 deficit. Takes a fastball strike at 98. It's 0-1. McLean's tempo, Spilly, and his control so far, way better than it is first start against Italy.
Yeah, no question. I think part of this term is just getting that first outing out.
The 0-1, that one upstairs, 1-1. McLean is such a good athlete, and one thing we've noticed already is he varies his time in his delivery. He will vary his leg raise, a la Japanese pitcher. He was a terrific high school quarterback. Throw over to first, and scrambling back is Tovar. But every movement he makes ends up, it goes slow, quick, like that.
Yes.
And it has to be very difficult to time him up. Even his throws over to first are like that. Set. The 1-1. Swinging a foul down the left field line and out of play. Another 98-mile-an-hour fastball. It's 1-2.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, we saw it throughout this tournament. pitchers that weren't touching these numbers during the regular season, they're sitting at 98, 99 miles an hour. We saw with Luis Severino, highest velocity he's had in a game since 2018.
The set. And the 1-2 pitch. Swinging a pop-up on the infield, actually just out onto the outfield turf. Bobby Witt Jr., the shortstop, has it, and the inning is over. A 2-out single, a man left. We've played 1.5. Venezuela nothing, the U.S. nothing. You're listening to the finals of the World Baseball Classic on Sirius XM and the Sirius XM app.
Sirius XM has dedicated channels to your favorite sport. Don't miss any of the daily baseball conversation on MLB Network Radio on Sirius XM.
That was a win for everybody who loves baseball. The energy, the excitement.
Or deep dives into the NFL, NBA, NHL, and college sports. You'll hear legends like Christopher Mad Dog Russo and Stephen A. Smith on Mad Dog Sports Radio. Get your Sirius XM free trial right now at SiriusXM.com/WBC26.
Build a championship fantasy baseball team with the expert advice of Sirius XM Fantasy Sports Radio.
Focus on players that impact as many categories as possible.
Hear winning strategies and player projections from former Major League General Managers Jim Bowden and Steve Phillips.
I'm definitely going to take a position player with my first 2 picks.
Don't be left with the bat on your shoulders. Swing for the fences. And dominate your fantasy baseball draft with Fantasy Sports Radio, Channel 87, and on the Sirius XM app.
This is baseball. Here, anyone can be a superhero.
Czech Republic, you just won your first World Baseball Classic game.
Where samurai swing bats.
Otani and Japan celebrate a World Baseball Classic.
And stadiums become orchestras. This is baseball with nothing held back. Expect everything. Tune in to the 2026 World Baseball Classic. Baseball is something else. World Baseball Classic trademarks used with permission.
With Sirius XM, you get nonstop baseball coverage on MLB Network Radio and every MLB game. Try 3 months free. SiriusXM.com/WBC26.
The World Baseball Classic Finals, big moments, loud crowds, and nonstop intensity. This is baseball with nothing held back. Expect everything. No score. Team USA batting at the bottom of the second inning. Eduardo Rodriguez back to work. The 32-year-old left-hander will face Kyle Schwarber, Alex Bregman, Roman Anthony for the U.S. in the second. Rodriguez in the third year of a 4-year free agent contract he signed with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Injuries have plagued him the last 2 years. He really got knocked around by both lefties and righties last season, Billy. Here's the first pitch to the left-handed hitting Schwarber. He tries to check, and it's called a strike just off the outside corner, 0-1.
You know, when the Diamondbacks signed Eduardo Rodriguez, this was back after they just made a World Series run, and I loved the sign.
The 0-1 in the dirt, 1-1.
But for whatever reason, I think part of it's the velocity isn't quite what it was, so it's come down a little bit. Command wasn't great for him, at least it hasn't been with Arizona like we saw with Boston or Detroit.
There's the 1-1. Outside, 2-1. Yeah, with that, I mean, the walk rate against right-handed pitchers, he walked 10% of the right-handed hitters he faced. The league average is usually around 8. He also allowed 21 homers to righties, the 2-1. Foul back, and the count 2-2. And while he was better against lefties, he wasn't much better. And that's because the strikeout rate was so low, he gave up a ton of hits to left-handed hitters.
Well, and the hard hit percentages against Eduardo, I think a big reason is the changeup just isn't as effective as it once was.
The chants of Ponche, Ponche, Ponche continue from the Venezuelan fans. As Rodriguez in a 2-2 count against the leadoff man in the second, Kyle Schwarber. The pitch to the USDH. Swing and a miss. He's down on strikes. Second strikeout for Rodriguez, 1 out in the second.
Schwarber was late on a 93-mile-an-hour fastball, which indicates a little bit that maybe he was sitting off speed.
1 out for Alex Bregman, the Chicago Cubs third baseman, getting the start today against Rodriguez over Gunnar Henderson. Here's the first pitch. Right-handed hitter checks, and he went around on appeal, says Corey Glazer at first. It's 0-1. Pitch bearing in under his hands. Cutter. Bregman just 2 for 11, but the numbers, Billy, against left-handed pitching significantly better than Anderson's last year, the 0-1. Down low, the count 1-1. I thought this was, for all the criticism that Mark DeRosa has received for this move, because Henderson's been hot, this one was beyond defensible. I would not surprised by this one at all.
Not at all. I mean, it's a lefty on the mound with Alex Bregman.
The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Out in front on a changeup in the count 1-2.
Well, and if you're DeRosa, you just want Bregman to do something tonight where it goes and proves that, hey, I know what I'm talking about.
1 ball and 2 strikes the count to the right-handed hitting Bregman. The pitch from Rodriguez. Swinging a slow tapper to first, gloved by Arise. He will race to the bag and beat Bregman there, 2 outs. Arise not leaving anything to chance, and he turned out the Jets to beat Bregman, who was sniffing a base hit.
Well, I don't think Rodriguez would have been there in time, just based on the way that he reacted getting off the mound. Bregman would have beat Rodriguez in a foot race.
2 outs for Roman Anthony. And the go-ahead home run in the U.S. victory over the Dominican Republic in the semifinals. The young left-handed hitter takes a ball inside. It's 1-0. No score, bottom of the second of these WBC finals. Anthony, a late add to the roster after Corbin Carroll fractured a hamate bone just before games started in spring training for the Diamondbacks. Anthony takes a strike. It's 1-1. He has more than held his own in this tournament.
No question. And for Roman Anthony, he loves playing here. This is the ballpark that he would come watch baseball games at. He said one of his favorite memories, he was in attendance as a kid during the home run derby when they had it here at Marlins Park a couple years ago.
The 1-1. That one outside. The count 2-1. That was a particularly memorable home run derby with Giancarlo Stanton and Gary Sanchez and Aaron Judge hitting multiple upper deck opposite field home runs. Here's the 2-1. He takes down low outside and the count 3-1.
And if you're curious who his favorite player was growing up, it's Christian Yelich.
Some similarities in their game for sure. Good eye, good contact skills, good power. The 3-1. Anthony, a little dribbler back to the mound. Rodriguez waits for the second hop and fires to first. And a 1-2-3 inning for Eduardo Rodriguez. He's retired all 6 that he's faced. We head to the third. Venezuela and the U.S. are scoreless. This is SiriusXM's exclusive radio coverage of the finals of the World Baseball Classic.
Hear the Masters exclusively on SiriusXM Channel 92.
It's a grand slam roar at Augusta National.
Hear every incredible shot.
On his way to the hole, and he's got it. A fist bump from McElroy. He's taking the lead in the Masters.
And all the dramatic moments as the best golfers in the world try to win the coveted green jacket.
Oh, and it goes in the hole. Scotty Scheffler, eagle.
Tune into Masters Radio this April on Channel 92 in the car and on the SiriusXM app.
This is Radio Andy.
Let's go. If you're not listening to Radio Andy, what are you even doing?
It's non-stop celebrity, pop culture rants, wild stories, and Andy Cohen being the icon he was born to be.
No filters, no chill, just straight up fun.
We're talking laughs, shade, and those moments that make you text your group chat immediately.
Catch Radio Andy anytime on the SiriusXM app and hit that follow at Radio Andy Insta for even more chaos.
Trust us, you don't want to miss a beat.
Tomorrow, Katie Nolan sits down with the champions of the National Women's Soccer League, and SiriusXM is giving you a front row seat to Gotham FC.
Rose Lavelle absolutely nails it.
Hear Rose Lavelle, Emily Sonnet, Jaden Shaw, and Lily Reel discuss bringing a title to New York, the 2027 World Cup, and more.
A 1-0 victory hands them the NWSL Championship.
The SiriusXM front row with Gotham FC tomorrow night at 8 Eastern on SiriusXM FC 157.
You're listening to the World Baseball Classic on MLB Network Radio. Tune in to the leadoff spot tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Eastern as we react to all the big moments from all the WBC action.
Start your baseball mornings with the leadoff spot tomorrow at 7 a.m. Eastern. Join Steve Phillips and Xavier Scruggs as they discuss the key moments of this game. Get into the leadoff spot Wednesday, 7 Eastern, SiriusXM Channel 89. The SiriusXM app. With Danny Wexelman and Ryan Spielborgs, Mike Farron back with you at Lone Depot Park in Miami, Florida. We are scoreless in the finals of the WBC. Team Venezuela against Team USA. And their captain, Salvador Perez, will lead things off. It's Salvador Perez, Jackson Chourio, and then to the top with Ronald Acuna Jr. against Nolan McLean. His first pitch is hit inside the bag at first and fair down the right field line. Past a diving Bryce Harper. Perez will stop at first as Judge bluffs a throw behind him and tosses it back in. A leadoff single for Venezuela in the third.
I love these type of hits when you're a hitter. This is a whoops because Salvador is so out in front of the sweeper, and it's a good 4 inches off the plate. You hit it off the end of the bat, you end up looking like, where'd it go? You're showing the replay, he thought it was foul, and you get a knock on it.
Here's Jackson Chourio. He had a key hit last night in the 7th inning of the game against Italy as he takes a strike, 0-1. 2 outs, man at first last night. Venezuela down a run in the 7th, and they put together 4 consecutive singles. Chourio started that rally with a base hit. Pitch, there's a strike, and the count 0-2. And Ronald Acuna Jr. with an infield hit that tied the game. Michael Garcia of the Royals gave Venezuela the lead, and Luis Ariz added an insurance run. And from there, they got the last 9 outs and find themselves in their first ever final with this incredible crowd that they brought with them to Miami. I don't think that they actually put every one of them in the luggage racks or in the carry-on bins. But some of the people lived here. 0-2 the count, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Chasing a breaking ball off the plate. Chourio down on strikes, 1 out.
It's 3 punch-outs now for Nolan McLean, and Mark DeRosa was talking about getting the start from McLean. He says, I really think stuff matters. And Nolan, I know he's going to establish himself this year. I think when it's all said and done, Nolan's going to be the best starter on the New York Mets, and he could be a top 10 starter in baseball because of the stuff.
1 out for Ronald Acuna Jr. He singled the lead off the game and then was erased on a double play. First pitch moves him off the plate inside at 99. It's 1-0. Acuna 7 for 24 with a couple of home runs, including a leadoff homer against Japan in the quarterfinals. The pitch. He takes a strike. Inner edge. He wasn't sure about it. The count 1-1.
I'm telling you what, Mike, I'm watching Acuna. This is the calmest his body has looked in the 2 games we've seen.
The pitch. Swing and a miss. The count 1-2. I'm sure that you can hear the drums in the background. Those are called tambores venezolanos. That's my really poor Spanish.
Yeah, somebody was like, what in the world did you just say?
Venezuelan drums. That's how you would say it in English. The 1-2, down low, 2-2. According to Carlos Guillen, the great PR director for Venezuela, that it's a musical and cultural tradition from enslaved African people that were brought to Venezuela coast to work at the cocoa and coffee plantations. That one hit high and deep and foul down the right field line and out of play. But they are a huge part of Venezuelan baseball. The drums were going all night last night.
Yep.
They are going again, and it adds an element of excitement to the ballpark.
Well, and I love the colors for Venezuela, the vino tinto, and obviously they're wearing their blues right now, but...
The 2-2, up and in, and the count is full to Acuna.
Do not make a mistake to Acuna right here. His takes are perfect. He is on time.
1 out man at first, no score, top of the third. Venezuela batting in this WBC final. Perez a short lead, the pitch. Upstairs, ball 4, and Venezuela has 2 aboard for Michael Garcia.
I don't mind that walk because I had a feeling if Acuna had a pitch he could handle, he would have hit it out.
Michael Garcia has 10 hits in this tournament. Only 2 players have ever had more. The record is 12, held by Ichiro. First pitch, and he takes a strike. breaking ball on the inside part of the plate. It's 0-1. Tsuyoshi Nikiosha is the other player that had 11 hits. Shioka played for Team Japan. The 0-1. Outside, and the count 1-1. So it's been a terrific tournament for Garcia, who Omar Lopez loves having at the plate in this moment because he is so calm. The clean set, the pitch. Swinging a foul back and just beneath us on the count 1-2. Salvador Perez not blessed with great speed at second.
I wouldn't even say he was blessed with any speed.
Acuna runs very well at first. Perez a short lead from second. McLean checks him, the 1-2. That one to the screen. A breaking ball that got away, and both runners will move into scoring position with one out. A very wild pitch. Will Smith had no chance at that one.
Well, this is where Venezuela has to come through. U.S. will play their infield back, so a ball in play scores a run, even with Salvador Perez. Now, something hard hit to Bregman. Maybe you might see a play at the plate.
2-2 the count. Garcia, good contact man, waits the pitch. He swings and hits one up the alley in left center field. Buxton on the run. He'll make the catch. Tagging from third and heading home is Perez. The throw to third. Acuna overslides the bag and then reaches his hand back. It's a sacrifice fly for Michael Garcia. And Javier Sanoa, the first out of the dugout, to give him a high five as Venezuela takes a 1-0 lead.
Oh, Venezuela took full advantage of the wild pitch. They moved up 90 feet, and then just another quality at bat for Michael. He gave it a ride, but he does exactly what you want to do. Get a ball in the air, and then with 2 outs, Luis Arraez, this is a tough customer.
Best contact hitter in the big leagues takes a strike, 0-1. He fanned in 4% of his plate appearances against right-handed hitters last year. The league average is 22. Acuna way down the line at third. The set, the 0-1. Foul back, it's 0-2. And this is where Arraez gets his toughest.
Well, and I'm watching U.S.'s outfield. They're playing really shallow. And as an outfielder, we've seen in the last 5-6 years, outfielders are playing so much deeper to take away extra base hits. If you're an outfielder right now, you want to get as shallow as possible. That's where Arraez does his damage.
1-0 Venezuela on the sac fly from Michael Garcia. Acuna down the line at third. McLean set. And the 0-2 pitch. Arraez lines one on one hop to second. Right there is Bryce Terang. He will throw to first, so the inning is over. The wild pitch helps to give Venezuela the lead on the Garcia sac fly through 2.5. It's Venezuela 1, U.S. nothing. You're listening to the finals of the World Baseball Classic on Sirius XM and the Sirius XM app.
Sports fans, do you want to hear every MLB game plus your hometown announcers? Go to SiriusXM.com/WBC26. What about every game of the NCAA basketball tournament? Go to SiriusXM.com/WBC26. Plus the PGA Tour, NASCAR, NBA, and NHL games. Get your SiriusXM free 3-month trial right now at SiriusXM.com/WBC26.
I'm Katie Nolan, and I host a show on SiriusXM Mad Dog Sports Radio called Fan Service. It's a show that is as much yours as it is mine. It's all about conversation. I'll throw out some things that are on my mind, but it's really a space where you can ask about anything going on in the world of sports and pop culture.
Thank you for having a refreshing way of approaching sports media.
Fan Service with me, Katie Nolan. Weekdays at noon Eastern, only on Mad Dog Sports Radio Channel 82 in the car and on the SiriusXM app.
Remember the voices you grew up with? Jokes you heard 100 times and still laugh at? On SiriusXM Comedy Greats, the legends never fade. Jerry Seinfeld, Chris Rock, Rodney Dangerfield, Joan Rivers. It's an all-star lineup every time. No trends, no filters. Just the greats doing what they do best. SiriusXM Comedy Greats, Channel 94. Timeless laughs, always in season. Catch up anytime using the SiriusXM app.
SiriusXM is a sports fan's dream. Live coverage of the biggest games and channels dedicated to your favorite sport. It's free for 3 months. SiriusXM.com/WBC26.
Every NHL game is on SiriusXM as the Stanley Cup playoff picture comes into focus. You need the perspective of your hometown announcers. Hear them all on the SiriusXM app. Just search NHL. Will Smith to lead off for Team USA. The number 7 hitter, Dodger All-Star catcher will be Smith, Bryce Durang, and Byron Buxton against Eduardo Rodriguez. This was the other lineup decision we were curious about, Spilly. Will Smith over Cal Raleigh. Raleigh had the best year of his career as a right-handed hitter last year. But Smith gets the start behind the plate as Eduardo Rodriguez works on the first pitch. The right-handed hitting Smith is upstairs a ball, 1-0.
Say a couple things when it comes to Cal. His timing wasn't on, right? A lot of foul balls, a lot of swing and miss. So I don't mind it, especially with Will Smith against Eduardo.
The 1-0 down low. 2-0.
But I was shocked when I saw it today when we saw USA's lineup. I was like, ooh, no Cal Raleigh?
3 for 10 in the tournament is Smith. Waiting for the 2-0 with the U.S. trailing 1-0. And he swings and hits one high in the air down the left field line. Racing in is the left fielder, Wilyer Abreu, and crossing into foul ground. He makes the catch. And the leadoff man gone to the U.S. third. That'll bring up Bryce Turang of the Brewers. 1-0 Venezuela.
Rodriguez has looked good so far. 26 pitches, no free passes. Haven't really seen hard contact. Has a couple punch-outs in there.
First pitch to the left-handed hitting Turang. Pitch down low, 1-0. That was one of the things I was curious about because we saw Michael Lorenzen pitch very well against Team USA in Italy's victory over them. It was great command that did it, and here's the 1-0. That one on the ground to first and past the diving Arise into right field, a base hit. And the U.S. has their first base runner with 1 out in the third. But I was just kind of curious if the kitchen sink mix of Eduardo Rodriguez would give this lineup problems. We'll see the second time through, but as of right now, he's pitched very well. That's the first base runner he's allowed.
Yeah, and for Bryce Ray, I mean, it continues to just stand out in this tournament, but you're right. Changeup usage is right around 20%, curveball usage right around 12%. Then he's mixing his cutter and his fastball, so that's a bunch of different looks.
Byron Buxton gets the start in center field and hits 9th, looking for his first hit in the tournament as he takes a strike, 0-1. Carl Armstrong started the last game against the Dominican, but with the lefty on the mound, and PCA's struggles last year against lefties, Buxton gets the start. Turang from first, he is a threat to run. The pitch. Upstairs, 1-1. I will say this was really interesting to me. Salvador Perez doesn't catch as much as he used to. Last year, he threw out 44% of base stealers. He's still got a cannon. Rodriguez staring right at the runner, Turang at first. The lefty will toss over, and Turang is back standing.
Well, one of the big things with Salvador Perez, catching-wise, he was never considered a good receiver. A couple years ago, Bobby Wilson with the City Royals, he's now with the Rangers. He moved him up about a foot. He was so far back in the box, he wasn't able to receive the low strike.
The pitch inside. It moves Buxton off the plate, 2-1. Venezuela leading the U.S. 1-0 in the bottom of the third with 1 out. Finals of the World Baseball Classic. Winner takes home gold. The set. The 2-1. Buxton swings and misses at a high fastball. It's 2-2. Pitch at the top of the zone, and Buxton swung through it. And the Venezuelan fans at every 2-strike count are chanting. Buxton digs in. Turang from first. Rodriguez set. And the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Got him to chase that changeup, 2 outs. He'll turn the lineup over for Bobby Witt Jr.
Eduardo's pitching right now. He went fastball up, and then he goes change-up down, changing eye levels. He's getting good drop on his change-up, which has always been one of his best pitches.
Witt flied to center on the first pitch of the bottom of the first. Venezuela up 1-0, bottom 3. The pitch. A strike on the outer third with a sinker. It's 0-1.
Yeah, he's throwing 3 different fastballs right now. The cutter, the sinker, and the four-seam, and just keeping USA off.
The set. The 0-1. Witt, it's one high in the air to center field. Churrio's got plenty of room, waves his arm, and about 5 feet shy of the track makes the catch. And Eduardo Rodriguez is through 3 innings of one-hit shutout ball. We head to the 4th. Venezuela 1, the U.S. nothing. This is SiriusXM's exclusive radio coverage of the finals of the World Baseball Classic.
As the NBA playoff race heats up,
He's going to fire up a 3 for the win! He hit it!
begin your day with SiriusXM NBA Radio's The Starting Lineup.
Overrated? Do you watch the guy play? He's unstoppable.
Frank Isola and Brian Scalabrine set the agenda and lead the conversation in the association.
Defensively, they have 0 weaknesses.
The only place for 24-hour coverage of the NBA is SiriusXM NBA Radio Channel 86 in the car and on the SiriusXM app.
Howard Stern.
You a Stern fan, Micah?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I listen every day. Baba Booey. Baba Booey. Baba Booey. Baba Booey.
Baba Booey! Howard Stern.
Howard Stern.
Legendary radio host Howard Stern.
It is the best thing that people can buy is Sirius to hear your show.
The best interviewer out there.
It's to the point.
Hands down.
We're both very excited about this. Howard Stern won at life.
Just a handsome guy. Universally, everyone agrees.
Only on Sirius XM. Now available to most subscribers.
WrestleMania is coming, and SiriusXM Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7 is getting you ready for the Squared Circle's biggest event.
There's nothing bigger than WrestleMania.
Hear in-depth breakdowns of the matches.
Roman Reigns versus CM Punk is going to bring the house down.
Join the daily conversation. The biggest fan favorites are all over this card. The road to WrestleMania 42 is on Pro Wrestling Nation 24/7, channel 156, and the SiriusXM app.
This is Jim Duquette. We'll break down the key plays from this game and bring you the latest headlines from around the World Baseball Classic every morning on Power Alley, weekdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, only on MLB Network Radio.
Baseball fans, every MLB game is on SiriusXM all season long, and your hometown announcers can be heard on your favorite team's channel on the SiriusXM app. One subscription gets you all the games. Go to SiriusXM.com/WBC26. 1-0 Venezuela as we start the 4th. Eugenio Suarez will lead things off. It'll be Suarez, Gleyber Torres, Ezekiel Tovar against Nolan McLean. The defense behind McLean tonight. Roman Anthony is in left. Byron Buxton in center. Aaron Judge at right. The infield third to first. Alex Bregman, Bobby Witt Jr., Bryce Terang, Bryce Harper, with Will Smith doing the catching. First pitch to the right-handed hitting Suarez is a fastball strike at 98 on the inner third. It's 0-1. Suarez last year tied a career high with 49 home runs. He checks and held up, says Corey Blazer at first. It's 1-1. No Venezuelan-born player has ever hit more home runs in a single season than Gino, who's done it twice. Swing and a miss. And the count 1-2 as he blows 96 by him.
Well, now that you get to a 2-strike count for Gino Suarez, last year he struck out 51% of the time he was in a 2-strike count.
The pitch. He takes a pitch just off the plate. He stared at it all the way into Will Smith's glove and then had the body posture of somebody that was hoping it wouldn't be called a strike. You know, fortunate there. It's 2-2. The pitch. Checks his swing on a breaking ball. No swing again, says Corey Blazer, and the count is full.
Now you can just see the bat on even his check swing, the bat is getting released, which is telling you he is consistently late.
And when he is on time, like most hitters, he's barreling fastballs to the middle of the field. The 3-2, swinging a foul. Fastball in on his hands. He fouled it off his instep, and Suarez will walk it off.
One of the most frustrating things for guys when you're constantly late and you have a guy with big velocity is you have to cheat. You have to think, all right, I'm firing my swing. If he throws a fastball, that's the only way I can get on time. And that's why the off-speed pitch, we're seeing big check swings from Gino, is because he's completely sold out on trying to fire his swing.
3-2 the count. The payoff. Swinging a roller foul, third base side. Well, this is starting to look a little bit like the at-bat he had last night that ended with a solo home run. Fought off a bunch of pitches until he got something he could handle. And it was a breaking ball. It was off the plate away against him, too.
Because he's falling over.
The pitch bounced towards the middle. Second baseman Terang has it, throws to first. And Suarez not running real well down the line after fouling that ball off his left foot. Is retired for out number one. There's Gleyber Torres, 1-0 Venezuela in the fourth.
Yeah, Gino is still hobbling through the dugout right now, is checking in with the trainer. He'll be fine.
Gleyber Torres struck out looking his first trip. And he fouls it back. It's 0-1. We're talking to Omar Lopez, the manager for Venezuela today, and he kind of made it sound like Gleyber Torres was the poster child for a lot of this team. He wasn't sure they were going to come together because they're so quiet. Swing and a miss, 1-1, which if you've watched any of these games on TV, might be a surprise to you, but he was very worried about this young group because they were quiet, they were on their phones, they weren't really interacting.
That's right.
And then Salvador Perez came to him and said,
relax. These guys are locked in, and they're going to have a lot of fun.
We're going to win this thing because they're so close. Here's the 0-2. Checks and takes outside. It's 1-2.
It's funny you say that just because Ezequiel Tovar, who I love seeing him, I cover him with the Rockies, he said the same thing. I was like, I love these guys. They're crazy.
Here's the 1-2 pitch to Suarez on its way. Called strike three. Torres down on strikes. Second time he's been punched out looking. 2 outs here in the fourth. 1-0 Venezuela as they bat, and here is Tovar. 4 strikeouts are reclaimed. Well, that was the thing is Omar Lopez said, he's like, oh, I want to see it. He's like, I need to see it in the game. And then they got in their first game against the Netherlands, and right away he saw that energy as soon as they took the field was different. First pitch to Tovar, up and in, and the count 1-0 to the shortstop. And I think that's super interesting because it feels like a generational difference that guys our age may not get. Omar Lopez is our age. So when you hear former players complaining about people on their phones, take it with a grain of salt. Popped up foul territory, first base side. Harper over to make the catch, and a 1-2-3 fourth inning for Nolan McLean. We go to the bottom of the fourth. Venezuela 1, the United States 0. You're listening to the finals of the World Baseball Classic on SiriusXM and the SiriusXM app.
World Baseball Classic listeners, do you want to hear every MLB game, including the hometown announcers?
Shohei Ohtani unloads!
What about every game of the NCAA tournament? Plus the NBA playoffs and the Stanley Cup playoffs. They're all on SiriusXM.
I can't believe what I just saw!
Just visit SiriusXM.com/WBC26 to start your free trial today.
Let the games begin.
On SiriusXM, you get all the sports play-by-play you want and all the live sports talk you need. It's always a home game when you listen to the NFL, NHL, NBA, and MLB on the SiriusXM app.
How good is that?
We fuel your fandom with NASCAR, the biggest college games, PGA, and soccer. And when news breaks, hear instant reaction.
We got a big developing story out of Cincinnati.
The SiriusXM app. Everything a sports fan needs, all in one place.
This is baseball. Here, anyone can be a superhero.
Czech Republic, you just won your first World Baseball Classic game.
Where samurai swing bats.
Ohtani and Japan celebrate a World Baseball Classic.
And stadiums become orchestras. This is baseball with nothing held back. Expect everything. Tune in to the 2026 World Baseball Classic. Baseball is something else. World Baseball Classic trademarks used with permission.
On SiriusXM, hear your hometown announcers calling every MLB game.
For a free trial, SiriusXM.com/WBC26.
Ryan Spielborg, CJ Nikowski, Kevin Franzen, Chris Jimenez, and many more bring you hard-hitting baseball analysis from a player's point of view. Loudouts, weekdays, 2 p.m. Eastern, Saturdays, 10 a.m. Eastern, MLB Network Radio, Sirius XM Channel 89. It's 1-0 Venezuela as we start the bottom of the fourth inning. It's Eduardo Rodriguez back to work against the heart of the U.S. order. Bryce Harper, Aaron Judge, Kyle Schwarber. It would be a good time for the U.S. to get after it. With their best hitters coming up, they've been held to just one hit so far. Lefty Rodriguez winds in the first pitch to the left-handed hitting Harper. A swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Spilly, can we talk for a second about how awesome Salvador Perez's catcher's gear is?
I mean, the complete Venezuelan flag as catcher's gear? Yeah.
The 0-1. That one inside, 1-1. There is a little more green on it, which is not really a part of the flag. The flag is yellow, blue, red with stars on it, right? There are meanings for all of the colors in the flag. The 1-1, and that one ripped on 2 hops to second. Torres almost had it eat him up, holds on, and throws to first. Leadoff man gone in the fourth for the U.S. 1-0 Venezuela.
I would say Salvador Perez's catcher's gear looks like rainbow sherbet.
That's a good analogy. There's a little green blending into yellow, coming out of the blue, and then red on the knee guards to yellow and blue like the flag. First pitch misses low to Aaron Judge. It's 1-0. And then a blue script Venezuela across the bottom. It is really cool. Judge waits the pitch. He fouls it back and the count 1-1.
I also love that Omar Lopez, he was talking about how, there's going to be a passing of the torch here with Venezuela as far as team captain, and how he told Salvador, hey, quarterfinals you're catching, you're not going to catch in the semis, but you will catch in the finals because I want you to get the final out.
Here's the 1-1. Swinging a pop-up foul, first base side, Arise racing over. Does he have a play? No. It hits the netting and the count 1-2. Yeah, that was a really kind of touching moment. I mean, Perez has meant so much. Likely headed to the Hall of Fame. One of the great Royals in history, certainly. Clemente Award winner. And somebody who, from Omar Lopez's standpoint, is more important to Venezuela for his humanitarian efforts than his efforts on the baseball field. And I thought that was interesting listening to him talk about how much money he has helped raise and distribute to impoverished people in the country of Venezuela.
Pay it forward.
The 1-2. Judge can't hold up on a changeup. He's down on strikes. 2 up, 2 down. 4 strikeouts now for Eduardo Rodriguez, and he's punched out Judge twice.
I didn't know if Eduardo was going to be up to the task against Team USA just with the stuff, but he has been fantastic. The mix of pitches for him, that's what stands out. He is mixing all of his pitches. There's not one that he's keyed in on.
2 outs for Kyle Schwarber. 1-0 Venezuela. The first pitch to Schwarber is outside a ball with a curveball. It's 1-0. Schwarber 8 for 23. He homered in the finals in 2023 off Yu Darvish, a second deck shot that cut the Japan lead to 1. That one outside on the count 2-0. This is the 3rd consecutive final the U.S. has been in. They won at Dodger Stadium in 2017 and then lost to Japan in the finals the last time as Shohei Ohtani struck out Mike Trout as the tying run to end the game. The 2-0. That one missed outside. 3-0 to Schwarber. And Schwarber just had a season where he hit the most home runs in history for a left-handed hitter off left-handed pitching. So you need to be careful here if you're Rodriguez.
Yeah, if you throw him a 3-0 cookie, he's going to take it.
The pitch outside, ball 4, a 2-out walk. That'll bring up Alex Bregman. Venezuela 1, U.S. 0 in the 4th.
Only 2 base runners for USA offensively. A base hit from Terang and now a walk. And a 2-out walk, these come back to bite you.
Pregame grounded to first his first trip. First pitch. Strike at the bottom of the zone. The changeup, it's 0-1.
Or if you were a Minnesota Twins fan back in the day when they had the old Metrodome, 2-out walks come back to haunt.
Here's the set. And the 0-1. Upstairs, the count 1-1. The leadoff walk will burn you. The 2-out walk
will haunt you.
Yes. What happens with the 1-out walk?
You just roll into a double play.
Advantage pitcher. Schwarber not running on the 1-1. Inside, it moves Bregman off the plate in the count 2-1. Rodriguez getting near the end of the line. They were hoping to get 3 or 4 efficient innings with him. This next pitch will be the 50th of the night. And there is some throwing in the Venezuela bullpen. The pitch, swinging a foul back. 2-2.
Just because if USA can knock out Eduardo Rodriguez, that's not a good thing. Venezuela's bullpen has been unhittable the last 14 innings. Japan and last night with Italy.
Edward Pizarro getting loose from the Mariners. The 2-2 instead of throw to first, and Schwarber scrambles back. Venezuela 1, U.S. nothing. Bottom of the 4th inning. Schwarber edges off first. Rodriguez set. And the 2-2 to Bregman. Swinging a grounder to short, gobbled up by Tovar. He'll flip to second for the 4th, and the inning is over. A 2-out walk does not haunt Venezuela. We have played 4. Venezuela 1, the U.S. nothing. This is SiriusXM's exclusive radio coverage of the finals of the World Baseball Classic.
Fuel your fandom when you listen to live sports on the SiriusXM app.
Victor for 3, Victor Wembanyama!
Hear the games you just can't miss.
That was one of the craziest games I've seen.
And get closer to the teams you love wherever you are.
What a great game. What a great comeback.
Live sports. Live on the SiriusXM app.
You gotta love sports.
SiriusXM Triumph. Get real answers with Dr. Laura.
No nonsense advice about relationships, marriage, kids.
Tough love.
It happened is not a phrase anybody uses when they take responsibility.
Inspiration.
Every time you go to bed with a negative thought, you have to match it up with a positive one. That's your new rule.
Dr. Laura. Plus, Glenn Beck, Nancy Grace, and Dave Ramsey. All on Triumph. SiriusXM 123 and on the SiriusXM app.
He wins it!
It's tournament time, and your place for instant reaction is on Mad Dog Sports Radio.
Got it!
Hi, everybody. Christopher Mad Dog Russo here. Thursday and Friday, I'll be joined by college hoops great former Duke star Mike Cheminsky for exclusive analysis of the first round. We will break down all the coaching decisions and give you live look-ins on key possessions as Mike and I keep you locked in on all the games. It's Mad Dog Unleashed this Thursday and Friday, 3 to 7 Eastern, only on Mad Dog Sports Radio, Channel 82, anytime on the SiriusXM app.
This is Jim Bowden from the award-winning show, The Front Office. Every Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern, Jim Duquette and I break down baseball from a GM's perspective on MLB Network Radio, Channel 89.
It's FSGA Draft Week on Fantasy Sports Radio. We're bringing you a fantasy baseball experts draft each day to help you prepare for your own league. Hear player projections and find out how the brightest minds in the industry build their teams on your home for fantasy baseball. Fantasy Sports Radio, Channel 87 in your car and on the SiriusXM app. Danny Wexelman, Ryan Spilborghs, Mike Farron with you, Lone Depot Park, Miami, Florida. It's the finals of the World Baseball Classic. Venezuela on a sacrifice fly off the bat of Michael Garcia of the Royals has a 1-0 lead over the U.S. as Venezuela bats here in the 5th. It'll be the bottom third of their order against Nolan McLean. First pitch from McLean is a strike on the inside corner to Wilyer Abreu. It's 0-1. Wilyer Abreu, the left-handed hitter. McLean really has looked sharp tonight. The 0-1. Abreu drives that one deep to center field. Byron Buxton going back. He looks up. It's gone! Wilyer Abreu sprinting around around the bases, loses his helmet between second and third, and will jump into a mob of Venezuelan teammates as he touches the plate. It's 2-0 Venezuela in the fifth.
All right, what he said, Noel McClain looks sharp tonight. William Abreu said, not really. It's a fastball, and he caught all the middle of the plate in Abreu. Man, he's strong. Dead center off the bat, 106.
414 the distance to the deepest part of the park. 2-0 Venezuela for Sal Perez, who takes a breaking ball inside. 1-0. Wilyer Abreu getting to a center cut heater to extend the lead for Venezuela. The pitch, a strike, and the count 1-1. You can hear this pro Venezuela crowd and how excited they are at every big moment. The 1-1 to Perez. Up and in, 2-1. McClain rocks and delivers. And a breaking ball down low, 3-1 now to Perez. There had been some action in the U.S. pen before. Right-hander, it looked like Brant Keller was getting loose. The 3-1. Swinging a bouncer foul, and the count is full. The U.S. should be fairly full in their bullpen. David Bednar likely unavailable, but just about everybody else, at least according to Mark DeRosa, pregame was.
Well, in the case of USA, I mean, 2-run behind should be a big deal.
The 3-2 in the air to shallow center. Buxton coming on makes the catch for out number 1.
Down 2 in the 5th inning shouldn't be a big deal for USA's offense. However, USA's offense, they haven't been as dominant as a lot of people thought they were going to be. A lot of really good pitching throughout this tournament.
Yeah, 5th in the tournament in on-base plus slugging percentage. They were right near Venezuela, who's now out-homered them. 1 out for Jackson Churio. 2-0 Venezuela in the 5th as he swings and misses a first pitch breaking ball, 0-1. You're right, it's been the pitching that has been dynamite for the U.S. and has carried them to this final. The 0-1, swing and a miss. Another breaking ball, it's 0-2.
Yeah, pitching and defense has really stood out for Team USA. I mean, that's kept them in this tournament. They could have easily been knocked out earlier.
The pitch outside. McClain right back to work in the 1-2. Swinging a pop-up, shallow center, going out Terang, the second baseman, waving his arms, has it, 2 outs. Billy, we have seen more waving of arms. I mean, big gestures from infielders and outfielders here. Is that the noise?
The noise. It's been really loud. I mean, this is balls in the air. People are screaming. And, you know, for any sort of infielder when they're running out, you can't hear the outfielder over this crowd noise.
Mark DeRosa is out to the mound to take the ball from Nolan McClain as they turn the lineup over a third time. It's a pitching change for Team USA. 2 outs, top of the 5th inning. Venezuela leading the U.S. 2-0. You're listening to the finals of the World Baseball Classic on SiriusXM and the SiriusXM app.
This is an MLB Network Radio on SiriusXM Spring Training Tour Spotlight.
MLB Network Radio is getting you ready for opening day on SiriusXM. Hear interviews from all 30 spring training camps on the SiriusXM app, including our visit with the Boston Red Sox and their manager, Alex Cora.
We're deeper than in the past, and not only deeper, we're better. That's the reason we feel so confident that we will compete to win the division, and we're going to play deep into October.
Blossoming superstar Roman Anthony is ready for the challenge of batting leadoff.
Scoring in the first inning it can really shift the momentum of a game. For me, my job is to do everything I can to get on and kind of just set that tone.
Shortstop Trevor Story can't wait to see all the new additions on the field.
These guys bring the energy, and I think I can see myself at their point in their career, you know, and
it fires me up because they bring the hunger. You know, these kids are not scared to play, and they want the big moment.
And Hall of Famer David Ortiz loves being able to impact the next generation of Red Sox.
It's always good to come around and check up on the guys, pass the baton, just share the experience. And you know, this game is a game that you never start learning. They always show up a couple of days and share the experience. That's the most important thing.
Here are full spring training tour specials for all 30 teams on the SiriusXM app. Just search Spring Training. Now back to the World Baseball Classic.
2 outs, nobody on. Top of the 5th inning, Venezuela has taken a 2-0 lead. Wilyer Abreu's solo home run extending the lead. And as the lineup turns over for a third time, the new pitcher for the U.S. is Brad Keller of the Philadelphia Phillies. Good story, Keller. Former Rule 5 pick of the Royals out of the Diamondbacks organization, was a starter, a reliever, signed a minor league deal with the Cubs last year, and then had a tremendous second half and got a 2-year contract from the Phillies this winter. First pitch misses down low to Ronald Acuna Jr. It's 1-0. This will likely be a matchup that we see a couple of times this season in their 13 head-to-head games. The 1-0. Acuna on the ground to short. To his left is Bobby Witt Jr. from the outfield grass. Fires low. Harper able to keep the bag as he backhands the pick in the dirt. And the inning is over. Nice play by Bryce Harper to help ensure that the U.S. gets the out. But Venezuela tacks on to the lead. We are halfway through this one. It's Venezuela 2, Team USA nothing. You're listening to the finals of the World Baseball Classic on SiriusXM and the SiriusXM app.
When your favorite sports shows are talking football or basketball, it's always baseball season on MLB Network Radio on SiriusXM.
It is gone!
With a lineup full of experts, it's a daily insider's perspective from former players and executives. The national pastime all the time. MLB Network Radio on SiriusXM. Don't miss out on a free 3-month trial to SiriusXM. SiriusXM.com/WBC26.
As a sports fan, I just want the games. But right now, it's like a full-time job just trying to figure out which bundle I need. With the SiriusXM app, they do the bundling for me.
Slam dunk. Luka is putting on a show.
I don't have to go anywhere else to get every NBA, NFL, NHL, and MLB game. When there's a college game on, I just search for the school on the SiriusXM app.
This game is simply amazing.
With the all-access plan and the SiriusXM app, I got the sports world in the palm of my hand. No bundle required.
Hey, this is Jeff Foxworthy.
This is Larry the Cable Guy.
And we're excited to tell you about our exclusive SiriusXM channel.
Jeff and Larry's Comedy Roundup. Every hour of every day, we're going to bring you the best comedy from some of the best and our favorite comedians.
Like Nate Borgazzi, Dusty Slay, and Leanne Morgan, just to name a few.
By the way, she owes me money.
And we each host our own shows every week.
Jeff and Larry's Comedy Roundup.
SiriusXM 97, your home for great American comedy.
Sports fans unite on SiriusXM with live games and live sports talk. Never miss a moment. Try it today at SiriusXM.com/WBC26.
The World Baseball Classic Finals, big moments, loud crowds, and nonstop intensity. This is baseball with nothing held back. Expect everything. I'd say that checks all the boxes tonight, Billy. Big moments, loud crowds, nonstop intensity.
It's been exactly right. And one of those reads we had, it said nothing being held back. And that's exactly right. I mean, these players are leaving it all on the line.
Roman Anthony will lead off the 5th for the U.S. They are trailing Venezuela 2-0. Eduardo Rodriguez still on the mound. 4 shutout innings of 1 hit ball for the 32-year-old left-hander. It's Anthony, Smith, and Turang. So 2 left-handed hitters due in this inning. First pitch to the left-handed hitting Anthony. He takes a strike. It's 0-1. So the defense for you for Team Venezuela, Wilyer Abreu in left. The center fielder tonight, Jackson Chourio. Ronald Acuna Jr. is in right. Here's the 0-1. Jackson takes high to count 1-1. Michael Garcia at third. Ezequiel Tovar at short. Gleyber Torres at second. Luis Ariz at first with Salvador Perez behind the plate. The wind and the 1-1. That one off the plate. 2 balls and a strike. Edward Bizardo back up and throwing in the Venezuela bullpen. Mariners reliever coming off his best career year, getting loose. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Chased a cutter off the plate in the count 2-2.
Eduardo is really baffling U.S. hitters tonight. Change-up cutter combo, always tough. He goes four-seam. We like to call it the blower upstairs.
And the Venezuelan fans cheering again as that one misses low and the count is full. Nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of the 5th inning. Venezuela leading the U.S. 2-0. Here comes the payoff. Swinging a grounder to second, right to Gleyber Torres, who will throw out Anthony. Leadoff man gone to the U.S. 5th. And Omar Lopez is coming out of the dugout and appears at 57 pitches. This will be it for Eduardo Rodriguez tonight. Still building up after not making it out of the 3rd inning against the Dominican Republic. Spilly, who is very good tonight for 4 1/3.
Listen to the ovation he's about to get. Unbelievable for Eduardo tonight.
Javier Sanoa first out of the dugout to greet him. 4 1/3 shutout innings. We'll tell you about the new pitcher for Venezuela in a moment. It's Venezuela 2, U.S. nothing. You're listening to the World Baseball Classic Finals on SiriusXM and the SiriusXM app.
This is an MLB Network Radio on SiriusXM Spring Training Tour Spotlight.
MLB Network Radio is getting you ready for opening day on SiriusXM. Hear interviews from all 30 spring training camps on the SiriusXM app, including our visit with the Chicago Cubs and their manager, Craig Counsell.
You try to get on teams like this, and you have people that have kind of been to the top of the mountain, and they're around you, and that's a big deal too, because it's just a little different when you've been to the top of the mountain, and you can feel that in the way they prepare and the way they think and the way they talk and kind of the impact they have on others.
New addition, third baseman Alex Bregman is ready to help lead the Cubs.
Well, I think this team has been very good and obviously made a deep postseason run last year, and so many leaders in the clubhouse already. I just try and come in and do my part and doing my job, showing up every day, talking ball with the guys, and keeping it pretty simple with that.
Center fielder Pete Crow Armstrong is ready to learn from his second half struggles.
I just got to understand that guys are going to know what works against me, and if I could probably swing the bat just a little bit less, I think we'll probably see more of the first half version.
And shortstop Dansby Swanson can't wait for another strong defensive season.
Kind of the excitement of we truly believe that we're good. I think it's a really cool thing. We have a pretty darn complete team.
Here are full spring training tour specials for all 30 teams on the SiriusXM app. Just search Spring Training. Now back to the World Baseball Classic.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of World Baseball Classic Incorporated and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. Eduard Bizarro on for Venezuela. 1 out, nobody on, last of the 5th. Venezuela leads Team USA 2-0. He will face Will Smith. First pitch, breaking ball strike. It's 0-1. Bizarro well-traveled before last season when he finally established himself as a key reliever for the Seattle Mariners. Had a terrific year with a sub-3 ERA, the 0-1. And he misses outside to the right-handed hitting Smith. It's 1-1.
This Venezuela bullpen has been unbelievable. We usually call them firefighters when you come into a game and put out the fire. Venezuela has a different term for it that I love.
The 1-1 fouled back just beneath Spilly. It's 1-2.
They're called the Come Candela. Come Candela, which means fire eaters. They're not here to extinguish fire with water. They're here to swallow it.
Well, the fans are looking for a ponche here with 1-2 the count. The pitch up and in. 2-2. These Venezuelan fans are so loud, so incredible, chanting on every 2-strike count. Waving their arms, the pitch. Smith pops it up, fouling out of play off to the right again. Eduardo Rodriguez shutting down the U.S. offense into the 5th. As Billy mentioned, this great collection offensively has been good but not great in this tournament. They're going to need some runs here. The 2-2. He takes strike 3 at the bottom of the zone. A breaking ball, and Smith looks back and shakes his head. 2 outs.
Gambellino, he hasn't had a lot of guys nodding their heads saying yes, but he's been fairly accurate tonight. Not a lot of egregious misses. That sweeper was right at the bottom of the zone for a strike.
2 outs for Bryce Terang. The left-handed hitting second baseman waits, and he swings and foul tips it into the glove of Perez. It's 0-1. Terang, the only hit of the night for the U.S., a 1-out single in the third. The 0-1. He takes it off the plate. Two-seamer, the count 1-1. 2-0 Venezuela, bottom of the 5th. Set. Bizardo's 1-1. Inside corner, a strike. And the count 1-2. That fastball ran back over the inside edge.
Yeah, 95-mile-an-hour sinker. You throw it at a lefty, started at his hip, and let the natural movement roll into the strike zone.
And the fans back on their feet. The 1-2, and he just got a piece of a breaking ball to stay alive. 2-0 Venezuela. USA batting bottom of the 5th. Time is called. Gambellino's going to get some new baseballs. Bryce Terang is going to take a walk around the home plate circle. The left-handed hitter standing upright, hands away from his body, waits. As Bizardo comes set. And the 1-2. Takes in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Byron Buxton is on deck. Bizardo set. And the 2-2. Swinging a grounder to second, right to Torres. He will throw to first. And the inning over. Bizardo shows off the Venezuela on his chest as he comes off the field. And we've played 5. Venezuela 2, the U.S. nothing. This is SiriusXM's exclusive radio coverage of the World Baseball Classic Finals.
Did you know you can get home and away feeds for every MLB, NHL, and NBA game on your phone?
3 for the win. He got it!
Every game, all season. It's all on the SiriusXM app.
It's out of here!
Sports, the way they're meant to be heard. With your hometown announcers just a tap away.
It is gone! An incredible finish!
Search for your team and tap the plus sign to add it to your library. Every game, all season. Get closer to your team with the SiriusXM app.
He shoots, he scores!
Big moments bring us together. So do great laughs. Welcome to SiriusXM Pure Comedy. Clean stand-up, feel-good favorites, and laughs you can share with anyone.
You're in your shower, you're daydreaming, and then you can't remember if you shampooed your hair. Oh, please, I had to backtrack in my own shower.
No cursing, no stress. Just comedy that feels good. Pure comedy. Laugh more. Feel better. SiriusXM Channel 98.
Every night in the NBA, the games become more important, and when you want a spirited debate that meets the moment, you need SiriusXM NBA Radio's NBA Today.
Maybe he can win the MVP, that's a question. What's not a question is him winning Defensive Player of the Year. That's easy.
Weekdays at 4 Eastern, Justin Termini and Eddie Johnson give you insight with energy and analysis with an edge.
Let those guys in the front office run the damn team, dude.
The destination for the association, SiriusXM NBA Radio, Channel 86 in the car, and on the SiriusXM app.
You're listening to the World Baseball Classic on MLB Network Radio. Tune in to the leadoff spot tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Eastern as we react to all the big moments from all the WBC action.
SiriusXM Sports takes you on the field and inside the clubhouse for the biggest moments in the game, from the NFL Scouting Combine to the Super Bowl, from spring training to the World Series, and everywhere in between. Our sports channels give you access you can't get anywhere else. Your all-access pass to live sports is SiriusXM. Venezuela 2, U.S. nothing as we start the top of the 6th inning. Brad Keller will continue for Team USA. He will face the top of the order, the Harley order, starting with Michael Garcia of the Royals. First pitch. And it's a strike at the knees. It's 0-1. Garcia, Arise, and Suarez, the scheduled hitters. The pitch, that one in the air to center. Coming in a couple of steps is Byron Buxton, who will make the catch, and the leadoff man gone in the 6th for Venezuela.
Going back to Bryce Keller, season ago, he really found a home in the bullpen. He's got an angry fastball. He throws primarily this fastball with really good carry through the strike zone. And as good of a hitters this Venezuelan team is on fastball, Keller can match it.
First pitch to Luis Arise. He checks and holds up. And the count 1-0. Arise 0 for 2 tonight. Keller into the wind of the pitch, and Arise swings and hits one in the air to shallow center again, and trotting in again is Buxton, and he'll make the catch. 2 up, 2 down in the Venezuelan 6th. And here's a Eugenio Suarez, 2-0 Venezuela. Jose Buto of the San Francisco Giants getting loose in the Venezuelan pen. The U.S. has 9-1-2 due in the bottom of the 6th. Byron Buxton, Bobby Witt Jr., Bryce Harper. They have just one hit, trailing 2-0. First pitch to Gino Suarez is ripped foul, third base side. It's 0-1.
Well, we've seen this in this tournament. 12 outs remaining for USA, but as you open up the gate to the bullpen, that pressure mounts, and we're not sure how every bullpen arm reacts to it.
Bouncer off the face of the third base dugout. It's 0-2. Suarez so far out in front on fastballs. Boy, Billy, you are not kidding. His timing is off. The 0-2. Tried to check his swing. He took strike 3, and a very quick 1-2-3 inning for Brad Keller of the Phillies through 5.5. Venezuela leads the U.S. 2-0. You're listening to the finals of the World Baseball Classic on SiriusXM and the SiriusXM app.
SiriusXM has dedicated channels to your favorite sport. Don't miss any of the daily baseball conversation on MLB Network Radio on SiriusXM.
That was a win for everybody who loves baseball. The energy, the excitement.
Or deep dives into the NFL, NBA, NHL, and college sports. You'll hear legends like Christopher Mad Dog Russo and Stephen A. Smith on Mad Dog Sports Radio. Get your SiriusXM free trial right now at SiriusXM.com/WBC26.
Let the games begin.
On SiriusXM, you get all the sports play-by-play you want and all the live sports talk you need. It's always a home game when you listen to the NFL, NHL, NBA, and MLB on the SiriusXM app.
How good is that?
We fuel your fandom with NASCAR, the biggest college games, PGA, and soccer. And when news breaks, hear instant reaction.
We got a big developing story out of Cincinnati.
The SiriusXM app. Everything a sports fan needs, all in one place.
This is baseball. Here, anyone can be a superhero.
Czech Republic, you just won your first World Baseball Classic game.
Where samurai swing bats.
Ohtani and Japan celebrate a World Baseball Classic.
And stadiums become orchestras. This is baseball with nothing held back. Expect everything. Tune in to the 2026 World Baseball Classic. Baseball is something else. World Baseball Classic trademarks used with permission.
With SiriusXM, hear your hometown announcers call every MLB, NHL, NBA, and NFL game. Subscribe at SiriusXM.com/WBC26.
Whatever you're into, SiriusXM has it. Ad-free music from every genre. Live sports from every major league. Breaking news from the voices you trust. And the podcast everyone's talking about, all in one place. One app, one subscription. Sign up now and get your first 3 months free at SiriusXM.com/WBC26. Jose Buto is on out of the Venezuela pen, the Giants right-hander. They acquired in a trade with the Mets last year, talking with Salvador Perez about the pinch hitter. Pete Crow Armstrong will hit for Byron Buxton to start the bottom of the 6th. Team USA with just one hit as they trail 2-0 in the finals of the World Baseball Classic. Buto, his bright red glove, peering in for the sign for Perez as the left-handed hitting Crow Armstrong takes a strike at the top of the zone, 0-1.
Well, he's got a 4-pitch mix, fastball, slider, changeup, sweeper. Now the changeup's pretty good because last year the league hit 0.94 against it.
The 0-1, that was a breaking ball that missed, and the count 1-1. Nowhere near the plate with that last one. Pete Crow Armstrong, an all-star 30-30 season a year ago. Started the semifinal game, third baseman Garcia playing in. He swings and pops it up into shallow left, trotting towards the line, and then medium deep left field, William Pregame makes a catch. And the leadoff man gone in the U.S. 6. They are not making much hard contact at all tonight, Billy.
Well, Venezuela's just mixing their pitches. They're throwing a lot of off-speed pitches and hitters counts. The fastball, they're hitting their spots.
2-0 Venezuela. Bobby Witt Jr.'s fly to center twice, both off the starter Eduardo Rodriguez. A strike at his knees. It's 0-1.
Also, from a pitching standpoint, Venezuela's not intimidated at all by the lineup. They have been attacking USA the entire time.
The 0-1. Down low, and the count 1-1. Well, these are guys that have postseason experience. Eduardo Rodriguez has pitched in the postseason. Eduardo Bizardo pitched in last year's postseason. Budo did with the Mets a couple of years ago, so they have been through this. This environment is nothing new. The pitch, Witt pops it up. First base side, foul ground, a rise over, and he makes the catch about 5 feet from the side wall, 2 outs. And the at-bats are starting to get a little more tense for the U.S. here as they look for a second hit of the night with Bryce Harper up, down 2-0.
Yeah, they're down to 10 outs. And as much as the pressure that USA feels, Venezuela's going to feel that too.
First pitch to Harper. He takes a ball outside. It's 1-0. Harper's 0 for 2. He's popped to short and grounded to second. It was the time that the U.S. needs their biggest stars to come through. The 1-0. Harper takes in the dirt, 2-0. That would be Harper and Judge in the on-deck circle.
You're right. I mean, just one big swing right here will make U.S. feel a lot better. They're just unable to do it.
Budo goes to the rosin bag, and now the righty climbs back on the rubber. 2-0 the count. Modified shift on for Harper with Garcia well off the line at third. The pitch down low, it's 3-0. And Aaron Judge is lurking in the on-deck circle for the U.S.
This is where U.S. can hurt you. They can get a walk right here.
3-0 the count to Harper. Here's the pitch. A strike. Just above the knees. Middle of the plate, it's 3-1. Daniel Zerpa getting loose in the bullpen for Venezuela. The 3-1. Swinging a liner over the head of a leaping Rise down the right field line, a base hit. Harper will coast into first as Acuna gets to it, and Harper raises his arms trying to fire up the U.S. dugout. Just the second hit of the night for Team USA.
Trying to get some energy going, and for Harper, 3-1 count, got the fastball middle in.
And here's Aaron Judge, the biggest star of the biggest stars. The tying run at the plate with 2 outs in the 6th. 2-0 Venezuela. The first pitch, Judge takes low, it's 1-0. Boy, Budo handled the first 2 he faced really easily, and now the strike zone jumping around on him, and he's falling behind the biggest hitters of the U.S. lineup. The 1-0. Down low, 2-0. And now Salvador Perez is going to go out to visit the right-hander.
That was the pressure we're talking about. As much as we're counting down outs for USA's offense, Venezuela's doing the same thing, and then you do look up and you're like, well, that's Bryce Harper. Oh God, that's Aaron Judge. Judge with one good swing could tie this one up.
The right side of the infield joining Salvador Perez on the mound. As Budo having a long conversation, glove in front of his mouth with Perez. Now the conference is over. And the count 2-0 to the right-handed hitting Aaron Judge. Harper at first. Judge the tying run, bottom of the 6th inning of the WBC Finals. Budo set, the 2-0. A strike. Changed speeds on him and got it over the outer third. It's 2-1.
And a great pitch call right there from Salvador Perez. 2-0 changeup.
Judge waits, the 2-1. Down low, a ball on the count, 3-1. To a slider that time, and here comes the biggest pitch of the night for Venezuelan pitching.
Well, I think if I'm Bucho, I'm throwing that changeup again.
3-1 the count. He's set. The pitch. Judge takes a strike. That fastball had all of the plate, and the count is full. That may be the best pitch Judge gets to hit in this at bat.
No question. Maybe Judge was thinking along with me. He was expecting a changeup, and he got the fastball.
Harper will be on the move with 2 outs. 2-0 Venezuela, bottom of the 6th. Budo set. The runner goes, the pitch, swinging a bouncer to third. Garcia has it, throws to first, inning over. Budo pounding his chest and imploring the crowd to scream as he rips through high fives with his teammates. And the U.S. held scoreless in the 6th. We head to the 7th. It's Venezuela 2, Team USA nothing. This is SiriusXM's exclusive radio coverage of the World Baseball Classic Finals.
Fuel your fandom when you listen to live sports on the SiriusXM app.
Victor for 3, we win! Victor Wembanyama!
Hear the games you just can't miss.
That was one of the craziest games I've seen.
And get closer to the teams you love wherever you are.
What a great, great game. What a great, great comeback.
Live sports. Live on the SiriusXM app.
You gotta love sports.
This is Radio Andy.
Let's go. If you're not listening to Radio Andy, what are you even doing?
It's non-stop celeb tea, pop culture rants, wild stories, and Andy Cohen being the icon he was born to be.
No filters, no chill, just straight up fun.
We're talking laughs, shade, and those moments that make you text your group chat immediately.
Catch Radio Andy anytime on the SiriusXM app and hit that follow at Radio Andy Insta for even more chaos.
Trust us, you don't want to miss a beat.
It comes around every year. People begin to scramble for information. It's a beast like no other. And VSiN is here to help you navigate the waters of the NCAA men's basketball tournament. It's Sharp Week, and our team of college hoops experts will guide you through your brackets. Want to know who the wagering sharps are picking? Tune in to Sharp Week on VSiN, SiriusXM 158. Sharps! You're gonna need a bigger bet.
You're listening to the World Baseball Classic on MLB Network Radio. Tune in to the leadoff spot tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Eastern as we react to all the big moments from all the WBC action.
Metallica is taking over the Sphere in Las Vegas for a mind-blowing, one-of-a-kind live experience. And SiriusXM has your chance to be there for opening weekend. One grand prize winner will receive round-trip airfare for 2 to Las Vegas, Nevada. Hotel for 4 nights and 2 tickets to both shows opening weekend on October 1st and October 3rd, 2026. To enter for official rules, go to SiriusXM.com/Metallica Sphere 2026 by April 14th. No purchase necessary. Must be a U.S. resident and over 21 to enter. Will Vest making his first appearance of the World Baseball Classic. The Detroit Tigers reliever trying to keep this a 2-0 deficit. In the 7th, he will face Gleyber Torres, who tried to check his swing and went around on the first pitch. It's 0-1. Gleyber Torres, Ezekiel Tovar, and Will Abreu here for Venezuela.
Let's see how Will Vest reacts to this environment. He's been in spring training. Some guys haven't pitched in this environment yet.
The 0-1 swing and a miss. Well, so far looks pretty good. He's gotten 2 chases on breaking balls from his teammate Torres. Picro Armstrong, who pinch hit for Byron Buxton, stays in the game in center field. 0-2. That one way outside with another breaker in the count 1-2 to Torres. Venezuela got the lead thanks in part to a wild pitch that put two men in scoring position with one out. Michael Garcia then delivered a sac fly. That was in the third. Wilyer Abreu a solo homer in the fifth inning as Torres waves and misses at a breaking ball for out number one. Abreu's 414-foot blast made it 2-0. The U.S. has just 2 hits tonight as we play the top of the seventh with one out and nobody on for Ezequiel Tovar.
It's funny, U.S. fans were chanting Ponche like the Venezuelan fans once Will Vest got the 2 strikes for Gleyber Torres.
We can start bringing that into big league ballparks. Here's Tovar. He takes a strike, it's 0-1. A single to right his first trip. He's also popped out in foul territory the first baseman Harper. To set the 0-1. Inside and the count 1-1. Seventh inning is where a lot of the action has happened in this tournament. The 1-1. Tovar lines that one into center field, a base hit. More towards left center as the left fielder Anthony way over to cut it off. And Tovar will hold with his second base hit of the night. One out single, and here's Wilyer Abreu.
This little combination for Venezuela with Tovar and Abreu. They've been fantastic this tournament.
Abreu a solo home run his last trip. It was the 6th inning of their game against Japan that he delivered a go-ahead 3-run homer as he takes a ball outside 1-0. Mark DeRosa was talking today, the Team USA manager, about the rules meeting today and talking with Omar Lopez. Remember, it was a late grand slam from Trey Turner that beat Venezuela in 2023, pitched down low. Count 2-0. It was a heartbreaking loss for Venezuela that had battled that U.S. team. Lost a 7-5 lead on that grand slam. And DeRosa said that he was talking to Omar Lopez. He said, man, he's like, I'm so glad that you got a moment like we had. Throw over the first, the runner dives back. Clear the respect that those two men have for each other.
I mean, everybody just respects each other, especially this tournament, because you're dealing with teammates.
2-0 the count to Abreu. Tovar at first, the pitch. A foul back. That was something slower in the middle of the plate. Got a piece of it. It looked like a pretty good pitch to hit. It's 2-1. Abreu digs in. Tovar runs well, but not really a stolen base threat as he's being held by Harper. The pitch. Abreu fouls it off to the left and out of play, and the count 2-2.
Now, Tovar is much more of a heady base runner. If there's a ball in the dirt, he'll take a chance and move up 90 feet.
Abreu uses his timeout, now digs in. 2-2 the count. The runner bluffs going, stops, and a check swing roller to third could be 2. Bregman will only go to first and just in time to get Abreu as 3 players scramble to third base to make sure Tovar didn't advance. 2 outs. Tovar looked like he couldn't believe how good a jump he got, Spilly, and then just stopped and still had enough time to force Bregman to only go to first and not get the double play.
Yeah, I mean, he really was. He's about, 30 feet off the bag with this almost like a running lead, so there really wasn't a play for Bregman because Tovar was almost halfway there where the ball was hit.
And then with Bregman playing over by shortstop, with the shortstop, Smith the catcher, and Vest the pitcher all race to third. There's a man in scoring position with 2 outs for Sal Perez. Bouncing it just foul. Past third, past the diving Bregman into the left field corner. That was not foul by very much. We are fortunate our vantage point is actually off to the first base side of home plate. I'm literally looking down the third base line. It was foul, but by about 2 feet, if that.
Not by much. Now, a ball, if it hits fair and bounces over the bag, foul, it's a fair ball.
But this one was foul before it got to the base. And the count 0-1 to Perez. The captain of the team swings and misses at a breaking ball, 0-2. Perez, power, a very aggressive hitter. He struggled with left-handed pitching last year, but was very good against righties. 28 of his 30 homers against right-handed pitching. 0-2 the count. Tovar from second, 2-0 Venezuela. The pitch. A little soft fly ball, shallow center. Racing into right center is Judge, who will make the catch, and the inning is over. A one-out single, a man left. It is time to stretch here in Miami. Venezuela leading the U.S. 2-0. You're listening to the finals of the World Baseball Classic on SiriusXM and the SiriusXM app.
Sports fans, do you want to hear every MLB game plus your hometown announcers? Go to SiriusXM.com/WBC26. What about every game of the NCAA basketball tournament? Go to SiriusXM.com/WBC26. Plus the PGA Tour, NASCAR, NBA, and NHL games. Get your SiriusXM free 3-month trial right now at SiriusXM.com/WBC26.
Every night in the NBA, the games become more important, and when you want a spirited debate that meets the moment, you need SiriusXM NBA Radio's NBA Today.
Maybe he can win the MVP. That's a question. What's not a question is him winning Defensive Player of the Year. That's easy.
Weekdays at 4 Eastern. Justin Termini and Eddie Johnson give you insight with energy and analysis with an edge.
Let those guys in the front office run the damn team, dude.
The destination for the association. SiriusXM NBA Radio, Channel 86 in the car, and on the SiriusXM app.
Remember the voices you grew up with? Jokes you heard 100 times and still laugh at? On SiriusXM Comedy Greats, the legends never fade. Jerry Seinfeld, Chris Rock, Rodney Dangerfield, Joan Rivers. It's an all-star lineup every time. No trends, no filters. Just the greats doing what they do best. SiriusXM Comedy Greats, Channel 94. Timeless laughs, always in season. Catch up anytime using the SiriusXM app.
Live in the moment with every MLB, NFL, NHL, and NBA game live on SiriusXM. For a free 3-month trial, go to SiriusXM.com/WBC26.
The World Baseball Classic Finals. Big moments, loud crowds, and nonstop intensity. This is baseball with nothing held back. Expect everything. Angel Zerpa threw 2/3 of an inning yesterday for Venezuela. He's back to work tonight as the Venezuelans have a 2-0 lead. We play the bottom of the 7th inning. Venezuela has never won the WBC. This is their first ever finals appearance. They are in position to do it because their pitching has held the U.S. to 2 singles tonight.
Whew. Well, in the case of Zerpa coming in, we don't see a lot of relievers back-to-back. Zerpa's going back-to-back, so he was good last night, but back-to-backs in early March.
First pitch to the left-handed hitting Kyle Schwarber, a strike on the outer third at 97. It's 0-1. Edward Bizardo pitched last night as well and was good in his 2/3 of an inning of work. Lefty Zerpa rocks and delivers. Schwarber checks and takes off the plate. Appeal to third, no swing, and the count 1-1. Chris Graham from Canada, our third base umpire. 1-1 the count. The pitch. A strike on the outside corner at 97. Schwarber with words for Dan Bellino, but that had all of the plate. And Schwarber will use his timeout.
Yeah, there's been a couple of hitters that have not liked some of the strike calls with Bellino. Now, maybe he's missed 1 or 2. But he's been fair tonight.
Andres Jimenez enters the game defensively at second for Venezuela. The pitch. Outside, just off the plate at 97. It's 2-2. That was another good call by Bellino there, as that one did miss the edge.
But not by much.
2-2 the count. Zerpa set. He rocks and the delivery. Swing and a miss. 98, and he blew Schwarber away, out number 1. Just 3 base runners for the U.S. tonight. 2 singles and a walk They have not had a man reach scoring position this evening.
Now Venezuela's been dominant on the mound tonight. Counting down now, it's USA down to 8.
2-0 Venezuela. First pitch to Pregame. Inside a ball. It's 1-0. Alex Pregame has grounded out and hit into a fielder's choice. Zerpa set. Rocks the 1-0. A strike at the top of the zone on the inside corner. It's 1-1. 96-97. It doesn't look like pitching on back-to-back days is impacting him too much.
Not at all. Adrenaline's running right through his body.
Here's the 1-1. Bregman checks and takes just high. 2-1. Borderline pitch. The call went to Bregman. 2-1. U.S. has not had much to make their fans cheer about tonight. The 2-1 on its way. Outside, 3-1 to Bregman with Roman Anthony waiting on deck.
I think U.S. fans, this entire tournament, you've been waiting to see with this collection of talent attract me. It has not been easy for U.S. to be consistent with their at-bats.
The 3-1, swinging a grounder to third near the line. Garcia has it. Straightens up, throws to first in time to get him. 2 outs. The Gold Glover made a not-so-easy play because of the length of the throw. Looked pretty simple.
Well, he's played so far back on the infield and kind of hugging the line. Bregman is a pull hitter. That ball came off the bat at 99. But based on his positioning, it was more about the throw than fielding that baseball.
2 outs for Roman Anthony. 2-0 Venezuela, bottom of the 7th. First pitch, a strike. As he lands a slider, it's 0-1. Anthony is tapped back to the mound and grounded to second. The 0-1. A little hesitation from Zerpa, and it spins Anthony off the plate with a fastball. It's 1-1. The U.S. hoping for a bloop and a blast. They haven't even really had the bloops tonight. One and one the count. Zerpa rocks and delivers. Tried to check his swing. He held up on a pitch that just missed. The count 2-1.
I heard Mark DeRosa talking about trying to match the energy of Venezuela. Well, it's hard to match energy of another team when you're not doing anything offensively.
Well, the U.S. has had some big innings, but not a whole lot of consistent rallies. The 2-1, outside 3-1. This entire tournament has been like this for them. Now, they haven't been shut out into the 7th inning, really. They were shut out into the 6th against Italy. Down 8-0, a furious comeback that got the tying runs to the plate in the 8th and the 9th. The 3-1. Anthony takes inside, ball 4. Second walk of the 9th by Venezuelan pitching, and it comes with 2 outs on the 7th. And here's Will Smith, and that's going to be it for Zerpa. Andres Machado is warming in the bullpen, and last night he was electric with a 99-mile-an-hour fastball and a 93-mile-an-hour splitter. Omar Lopez is going to go and get the right-hander from NPB. 2 outs, tying run coming to the plate, last of the 7th. Venezuela leads the U.S. 2-0. You're listening to the World Baseball Classic Finals on SiriusXM and the SiriusXM app.
I'm Katie Nolan, and I host a show on SiriusXM Mad Dog Sports Radio called Fan Service. It's a show that is as much yours as it is mine. It's all about conversation. I'll throw out some things that are on my mind, but it's really a space where you can ask about anything going on in the world of sports and pop culture.
Thank you for having a refreshing way of approaching sports media.
Fan Service with me, Katie Nolan. Weekdays at noon Eastern, only on Mad Dog Sports Radio Channel 82 in the car and on the SiriusXM app.
Howard Stern.
You a Stern fan, Micah?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I listen every day. Baba Booey. Baba Booey. Baba Booey. Baba Booey.
Howard Stern.
Howard Stern.
Legendary radio host Howard Stern.
It is the best thing that people can buy is Sirius to hear your show.
The best interviewer out there.
He gets to the point.
Hands down.
We're both very excited about this. Howard Stern won at life.
Just a handsome guy. Universally, everyone agrees.
Only on Sirius XM. Now available to most subscribers.
Build a championship fantasy baseball team with the advice of Sirius XM Fantasy Sports Radio.
Early round drafting, focus on players that can impact as many categories as possible.
Hear winning strategies and player projections from ex-big league general managers Jim Bowden and Steve Phillips.
I'm definitely going to take a position player with my first 2 picks.
Get ready for your drafts by listening to our experts drafts right now on the Sirius XM app, and catch all your fantasy baseball talk on Channel 87.
2-0 Venezuela, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th, tying run coming to the plate. Will Smith against Andres Machado, who saved 51 games over the last 2 years for Oryx and NPB. He was very impressive last night. Roman Anthony's at first. The first pitch to the right-handed hitting Smith. He swings and fouls off a 98-mile-an-hour heater. It's 0-1.
I'm not sure if you saw what that pitch was, Mike, on the replay, but it was almost going to hit Will Smith. I mean, Will was looking to do damage. He was in his mind he was going to hit. And last night, Machado's changeup at 93 was untouchable.
Here's the set, the 0-1. Checks his swing, takes a strike. There's that changeup at 92. It's 0-2. And now the Venezuelan fans coming to their feet. DeRosa sticking with Will Smith here, even with Gunnar Henderson and Cal Raleigh on the bench. We talked about Raleigh's had some tough at-bats here. Henderson has looked good, but he's sticking with his starting catcher. 0-2 the count, the pitch. Swinging a high pop-up, shallow right field, racing over. Andres Jimenez crossing into foul ground. The second baseman has it, and the inning is over. Machado retires Smith. The U.S. leaves a man. We head to the 8th. Venezuela leading Team USA 2-0. This is Sirius XM's exclusive radio coverage of the World Baseball Classic Finals.
Get ready for the 2026 NFL Draft on Sirius XM NFL Radio.
Touchdown! Fernando Mendoza!
Catch interviews with the top prospects as they begin their journey to the NFL.
On whatever team drafts me, I'm grateful, whether it's the number 1 pick or whether it's, 199th pick.
And this April, hear pick-by-pick coverage of the 2026 Draft from Pittsburgh.
There's a lot to work with, and he's only going to get better.
On Sirius XM NFL Radio, Channel 88.
Howard Stern.
You a Stern fan, Micah? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I listen every day. Baba Booey. Baba Booey. Baba Booey. Baba Booey.
Baba Booey.
Howard Stern.
Howard Stern.
Legendary radio host Howard Stern.
It is the best thing that people can buy is Sirius to hear your show.
The best interviewer out there.
He gets to the point.
Hands down.
We're both very excited about this. Howard Stern won at life.
Just a handsome guy. Universally, everyone agrees.
Only on Sirius XM. Now available to most subscribers.
Build a championship fantasy baseball team with the advice of Sirius XM Fantasy Sports Radio.
Early round drafting, focus on players that can impact as many categories as possible.
Hear winning strategies and player projections from ex-big league general managers Jim Bowden and Steve Phillips.
I'm definitely going to take a position player with my first 2 picks.
Get ready for your drafts by listening to our experts drafts right now on the Sirius XM app, and catch all your fantasy baseball talk on Channel 87.
This is Jim Duquette. We'll break down the key plays from this game and bring you the latest headlines from around the World Baseball Classic every morning on Power Alley, weekdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, only on MLB Network Radio.
The madness is here, and you're home for the NCAA tournament discussion is Sirius XM College Sports Radio. Tune in all day tomorrow as experts like Dalen Tuff, Matt McCall, and Nicole Arbach tell you who to pick in your NCAA tournament bracket, plus hear from some of the top head coaches who made the field of 68. It's all on Sirius XM College Sports Radio, Channel 84 in your car and on the Sirius XM app. Griffin Jacks is on for Team USA. He'll face 9-1-2 in the Venezuelan order here in the top of the 8th. Venezuela leading 2-0. Spilly, the at-bats for Team USA are probably the ones that have looked the most pressure-packed the entire tournament the last 2 innings. Even when they haven't been scoring, they've been taking good at-bats. That hasn't been the case since about the start of the 6th.
Well, pressure, it impacts people differently. And for USA, I mean, they want to win.
First pitch to Jackson Churrio's a strike.
But we see this in postseason. We see this all the time when you start trying to do too much. And I know it sounds crazy to say it, but you hear players talk about it all the time. It's a real thing.
The 0-1, swing and a miss, 0-2.
Because what it means is your brain is just working on overdrive. Your body's not reacting the way it's supposed to. You want to be free and easy. You want to be calm.
Jackson dominated righties a year ago, gets the 0-2, cut on and missed, a foul tip into the glove of Smith. And the leadoff man gone to start the Venezuelan 8th. It'll bring up Ronald Acuna Jr. 2-0 Venezuela. I mean, you played in the World Series at Fenway Park, which is probably a fairly similar environment, maybe not quite as loud because it's really loud in the air. But what does that do to your heart rate and your ability to manage at bats?
Everything spikes.
First pitch to Acuna. He checks and takes slow. It's 1-0.
You're trying to be calm, trying to take a big, deep breath, but your body's saying, I want to do something.
The set, the 1-0. Swinging a bouncer on 2 hops to short. Charging, Witt, gloves, throws on the run, 2 outs.
But you still have to tip your cap to the pitching. I mean, both sides, there's only been 7 total left on base tonight for both sides. Venezuela's 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position. U.S. hasn't had an opportunity.
Michael Garcia drove in one of the runs for Venezuela with a sacrifice fly in the 3rd. The right-handed hitting Royals third baseman takes a strike. It's 0-1. Michael Garcia, breakout season a year ago, winning the Gold Glove Award and an All-Star, showing his power. The pitch. Down low, the count 1-1. I don't think we've heard a single USA chant tonight. Do you?
If we did, it got drowned out by Venezuela.
It's definitely a pro-Venezuela crowd, but I think there are more U.S. fans here than what we've heard. Pop-up foul, third base side, back near the netting. It's Will Smith who makes the catch, and the inning is over. 1-2-3 work for Griffin Jacks. The U.S. down to their final 6 outs. They trail Venezuela 2-0. As we head to the bottom of the 8th inning, you're listening to SiriusXM's exclusive coverage of the World Baseball Classic Finals on SiriusXM and the SiriusXM app.
World Baseball Classic listeners, do you want to hear every MLB game, including the hometown announcers?
Shohei Ohtani unloads!
What about every game of the NCAA tournament? Plus the NBA playoffs and the Stanley Cup playoffs. They're all on SiriusXM.
I can't believe what I just saw!
Just visit SiriusXM.com/WBC26 to start your free trial today.
As a sports fan, I just want the games. But right now, it's like a full-time job just trying to figure out which bundle I need. With the SiriusXM app, they do the bundling for me.
Slam dunk. Luka is putting on a show.
I don't have to go anywhere else to get every NBA, NFL, NHL, and MLB game. When there's a college game on, I just search for the school on the SiriusXM app.
This game is simply amazing.
With the all-access plan and the SiriusXM app, I got the sports world in the palm of my hand. No bundle required.
This is baseball. Here, anyone can be a superhero.
Czech Republic, you just won your first World Baseball Classic game.
Where samurai swing bats.
Ohtani and Japan celebrate a World Baseball Classic.
And stadiums become orchestras. This is baseball with nothing held back. Expect everything. Tune in to the 2026 World Baseball Classic. Baseball is something else. World Baseball Classic trademarks used with permission.
One subscription to SiriusXM gets you live sports, including every game of the NBA, NHL, MLB, and NFL. Go to SiriusXM.com/WBC26 for a free trial.
Former general manager Jim Duquette and traffic cop Mike Fearon bring you in-depth interviews, hard-hitting analysis, and dated pop culture references like Rosanna's Toto. Weekdays at 10 o'clock Eastern on Power Alley, MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM, Channel 89.
Yeah, we charge $75 for jaywalking around here. 8-9-1 for the U.S. against Andres Machado. They are down to their final 6 outs in the WBC final, trailing Venezuela 2-0. The hard-throwing Machado will face Bryce Terang, who has one of the 2 U.S. hits. First pitch to the left-handed hitter, a strike. It's 0-1. Terang, Pete Crow Armstrong, Bobby Witt Jr., the scheduled batters. Team USA held in check all night by Venezuelan pitching. Their bullpen continues its brilliance. The pitch. Foul back.
Well, at least for Team USA, just the way that the lineup is, 8th and 9th inning, you have the guys that have more or less given you the best at bats.
0-2 the count to Terang. Machado set, and the pitch. Swing and a foul tip into the glove of Perez, 1 out. And now Venezuela 5 outs away from a WBC championship.
Well, it's always so big to get the leadoff hitter out, which is what Venezuela has done all night. Not one leadoff hitter for U.S. has reached base.
No one in scoring position for the U.S. Pete Crow Armstrong flied to left as a pinch hitter in the 6th. Venezuela 2, the U.S. nothing. The pitch, foul back. Slider on the inner part of the plate, and PCA fights it off. Ricardo Sanchez, the left-hander, getting loose in the Venezuela pen. Crow Armstrong will use his timeout immediately here. Trying to mess with the timing of the right-handed Machado. The pitch, swinging a bouncer to second, charging is Jimenez. Underhands to first, 2 outs. 4 outs to go for Venezuela.
You can hear the crowd in the background. They can taste it. It's getting close.
Back to the top of the order with Bobby Witt Jr. 2-0 Venezuela, bottom 8.
I'm not sure if he saw Salvador Perez. He just looked at Machado. He gave him the hands down, like relax. And then a big, deep breath.
Machado, who has dominated NPB the last 2 years, fires a pitch called low, ball 1. Dan Molino hasn't missed many tonight. That was a strike. 1-0 the count. Witt 0 for 3 today. The pitch. Inside, moves him off the plate. It's 2-0.
I mean, you just feel the tension, nervous energy. I feel it. I know the players feel it on both sides.
The 2-0. Outside, it's 3-0 to Witt, and Bryce Harper, who has one of the 2 hits for Team USA, is on deck.
Well, Omar Lopez, who's done a great job pulling strings tonight. He has the lefty ready for Harper.
3-0 the count. The set, the pitch, down low, ball 4. A 2-out walk to Witt. And will Lopez go and get Machado, or will he let him face Harper? He's going to send Johan Santana, the pitching coach, out. Venezuela's pitching coach will make the visit here, the 2-time Cy Young Award winner.
I haven't had a chance to see, just sometimes you'll see a pitching coach go out there to buy a little extra time for your reliever to warm up. So it's not a foregone conclusion. And Salvador's the one doing all the talking right now.
Anthony Molina, formerly of the Rockies, now with the Braves, getting loose along with Ricardo Sanchez. So double barrel action in the Venezuela pen. 2-0, they lead the U.S. And Machado is going to face Bryce Harper. Tying run at the plate. Harper singled with 2 outs in the 6th. Witt away from first. First pitch, Harper takes low, it's 1-0.
Well, the pressure for Bobby Witt at first, the possible stolen base. If I'm Venezuela, I don't care about Bobby Witt.
Machado set, Witt gets the lead. The pitch. Harper swings and hits one high in the air. Deep to center field. Way back. This game is tied. took 4 steps up the first base line, looked back at his teammates, flung away the bat. He salutes Dino Ebel rounding third, and the U.S. has tied this game at 2. All of his teammates outside the dirt circle as he celebrates with Aaron Judge and gets high fives from everyone.
Well, now USA has finally matched the energy of Venezuela. A changeup that Harper was sitting on.
He had the lefty Sanchez ready in the pen. He stuck with Machado, and the U.S. has tied the game. And now here's Aaron Judge. A chance to give the U.S. the lead. First pitch. Upstairs, 1-0, and the first time the U.S. fans have been able to cheer all night.
They're just praising Omar Lopez for pulling all the right strings. That's where we second guess. He had the lefty ready for Harper. He didn't go to him.
432 feet on the blast from Harper. 1-0. Judge fouls it back again, a piece of Perez.
Man, that changeup from Machado is so good, but you can tell. I mean, Harper, it was 93 miles an hour. It looked like he was sitting on it, and it just served as almost a BP fastball, as crazy as that to say at 93.
Will the U.S. break Venezuela's hearts in this tournament again? 1-1 the count to Judge. Machado set. The pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-2. 4 outs from victory. And Venezuela's got work to do now as the U.S. has tied the game. Machado can't hear his pitch com. Perez is going to go out to talk to him.
How much fun is this?
This is amazing.
Everybody's on their feet. Venezuela's yelling Ponche. U.S. fans are yelling USA. They're drowning each other out.
The conference is over. Judge digs back in. 1-2 the count from Machado. The pitch. Called strike 3. Inning over. But Bryce Harper's 2-out, 2-run homer ties the game. We head to the 9th. A fantastic finish coming. Venezuela and the U.S. tied at 2. This is SiriusXM's exclusive radio coverage of the World Baseball Classic Finals.
Did you know you can get home and away feeds for every MLB, NHL, and NBA game on your phone?
3 for the win. He got it!
Every game, all season. It's all on the SiriusXM app.
It's out of here!
Sports, the way they're meant to be heard. With your hometown announcers just a tap away.
It is gone! An incredible finish!
Search for your team and tap the plus sign to add it to your library. Every game, all season. Get closer to your team with the SiriusXM app.
He shoots, he scores!
SiriusXM Triumph. Get real answers with Dr. Laura.
No nonsense advice about relationships, marriage, kids.
Tough love.
It happened is not a phrase anybody uses when they take responsibility.
Inspiration.
Every time you go to bed with a negative thought, you have to match it up with a positive one. That's your new rule.
Dr. Laura. Plus, Glenn Beck, Nancy Grace, and Dave Ramsey. All on Triumph. SiriusXM 123 and on the SiriusXM app.
Tomorrow, Katie Nolan sits down with the champions of the National Women's Soccer League, and SiriusXM is giving you a front row seat to Gotham FC.
Rose Lavelle absolutely nails it!
Hear Rose Lavelle, Emily Sonnet, Jaden Shaw, and Lily Reel discuss bringing a title to New York, the 2027 World Cup, and more.
A 1-0 victory hands them the NWSL Championship.
The SiriusXM Front Row with Gotham FC tomorrow night at 8 Eastern on SiriusXM FC 157.
This is Jim Bowden from the award-winning show, The Front Office. Every Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern, Jim Duquette and I break down baseball from a GM's perspective on MLB Network Radio, Channel 89.
Ryan Spilborgh's Mike Farron back at Lone Depot Park in Miami, Florida. We've reached the 9th inning of the World Baseball Classic Final for 2026. Bryce Harper's 2-out, 2-run home run to straightaway center field in the bottom of the 8th inning is tied the game for Team USA. And now Garrett Whitlock, one of the top relievers in the American League last year, from the Boston Red Sox, coming on to face Luis Arraez, Eugenio Suarez, and Andres Jimenez, the scheduled hitters here for Venezuela.
Whitlock in this tournament, it's been 3 innings, 5 punch-outs, only 1 hit. He has been incredible.
Bryce Harper, the 2-run home run. First pitch to Arraez, and he has to skip out of the way of a breaking ball at the back foot. 1-0. I have to think that the energy in the place has Garrett Whitlock's heart rate going crazy right now. The 1-0. He misses high. The count 2-0 to Arraez. I mean, that went from being down 2-0 to get your A bullpen ready in a hurry. 2-0's a strike. It's 2-1. You know, I haven't think about this, Billy. I remember in the NLCS in 2013 in San Francisco. Remember Michael Morse hit a home run to tie the game for the Giants in Game 5 outside 3-1. And Santiago Casilla started getting loose in the Giants bullpen in his first throw. Remember, the bullpen was still on the field. Went all the way to the backstop.
Yeah.
And he ended up loading the bases with nobody out in that inning. And you could tell he couldn't slow down. The 3-1, a ball outside. Arraez walks to lead off the 9th for Venezuela. And I just always wonder about that in those quick change situations. How quickly can relievers get their emotions under control?
Oh, it's hard, and you'll hear guys talk about that all the time, getting ramped up. I mean, their hearts are already racing once they hear the phone ring.
Javier Sanoa is going to come on to pinch run for Arraez at first.
Sanoa's been the first guy off the bench giving high fives to everybody, so he's been getting his wind sprints in on all the celebrations.
The Marlins utility man has the lead at first. Here's Eugenio Suarez, 2-2 the score, top of the 9th. First pitch to Suarez, breaking ball outside, it's 1-0, and Will Smith is going to pay Whitlock a visit.
Yeah, there's no question. There are, I wouldn't call them nerves, because Garrett Whitlock is not nervous, but he is going quick. And for Sanoa at first, if you saw the first pitch, it's a high leg kick. I mean, he's very stealable.
Sanoa last year, 6 of 11 in stolen base attempts, so not a great percentage. Will Smith last year threw out 27% of base runners.
But if Garrett goes to another high leg kick, I mean, you got to take a chance.
Sanoa the lead. Throw over to first, and he dives back. No tag applied by Harper. First disengagement for Whitlock. 2-2 game, top of the 9th.
This is fun.
Sanoa the lead. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Challenged him with 92 above the zone, and the count 1-1. Sanoa is fast, but not a burner. Above average speed as he gets the lead from first. Whitlock's pitch, the runner goes. Pitches the ball, the throw by Smith. On the money, he's safe. The one-hop throw, and it looked like Sanoa got in at the back of the bag. And the go-ahead run in scoring position with nobody out.
You got to take your chances if you're Venezuela. You just have to. They're going to look at this. Sanoa, he rerouted a little bit. He moved to the outside part. Oh, man, Bryce Terang. Check out this tag, Terang, so quick.
Ooh, that is close. That's closer than I thought at first looks, Billy. He tagged him on the shin right about the time the foot got to the bag. This is going to be a very difficult one to overturn, it feels like. What do you think on that? We only got 2 looks at it.
I would say, I mean, it was an in-between hop. The Terang goes and gets it and then slaps the tag down. Wow.
Oh, man, he may have gotten him on the shin. The question is whether or not Sanoa's cleats hit the side of the bag before the tag hit him on the shin. It is bang, bang.
It's going to be really hard to overturn it. It does not look clear and convincing to me.
More than anything for Team USA, this is going to give Whitlock a chance to slow the game down potentially here. He's behind in the count 2-1. The pitch was a ball to Eugenio Suarez. Jeremy Rehak and Dan Bellino waiting for New York.
Rolling on the field stands. The runner is safe.
So not enough evidence to confirm or overturn. Sanoa safe at second. He's the go-ahead run in the top of the 9th inning. And now this is a big spot for Gino Suarez. He is not a good contact hitter, Billy, but they need to get this runner to third at the least. 2-2 game. Whitlock behind 2-1. The pitch, swing and a miss. Got him to chase an off-speed offering. It's 2-2.
Gino tonight, unfortunately, he's just looked lost at the plate just because the timing's so far off.
0 for 3 tonight. Sanoa from second, the pitch. He swings and pops this one up foul. Back behind the plate and out of play. That was a changeup that was a hanger. And it just wasn't a good pass. That was a good pitch to hit.
Yeah, that's the only thing Gino can hit right now. Unfortunately, I've seen him great, is a mistake.
2-2, the pitch. Up and in. And pushes Suarez off the plate, and the count is full. Things have turned in the last 15 minutes. It's a 2-2 game in the top of the 9th. Sanoa from second, the pitch. Suarez in the air, left center field. Crow Armstrong on the run, he can't get there. It's a base hit. Sanoa will score. Suarez to second. Venezuela leads 3-2. One of the most beloved players in baseball has just given Venezuela the lead in the 9th of the finals of the WBC.
At second base, he was looking at the sky. He was thanking the Lord for that swing. He got a changeup. The mistake from Whitlock sped up his bat, and he just rifled it in the left center gap.
And now here's Andres Jimenez with Suarez at second. 3-2 Team Venezuela. Jimenez squares to bunt and takes a strike. It's 0-1. Bryce Harper was crashing as hard as you possibly could. Venezuela with a one-run lead, and you know they just want that insurance run, Spilly. This is the right kind of guy to have at the plate to get Suarez there.
Yeah, you bunt this one towards third base. You cannot bunt it to first.
Bregman playing in at third, too. The pitch, and Jimenez swings and misses. Turned him loose, 0-1. It's 0-2. Anything to get the runner to the right side of the field, would get the runner to third. We got to slow things down in the booth. The 0-2. That's a bouncer to first and foul. And Jimenez stays alive. Game starting to speed up in so many ways. 3-2 Venezuela, top of the 9th, and looking for more. The 0-2. Jimenez slaps it foul down the third base line. Jimenez known more for his glove than his bat.
Always a pretty good contact hitter, though.
Oh, and 2 the count. Suarez from second, the pitch. Jimenez rips it foul past first.
If you've seen Jimenez right now, he is completely spread out, and he's just throwing the bat. He's not trying to do anything crazy here. He's literally playing pepper.
The 0-2. Fouled away again. Daniel Palencia, the Cubs closer, getting loose in the Venezuela pen. He has been very impressive in his last 2 outings.
Well, if U.S. can keep it to just this 1 run, which is going to be incredibly difficult.
0-2 the pitch. Upstairs, it's 1-2.
You're going to put so much pressure on Venezuela. If they get a 2-run lead, it takes so much off of you.
Tyler Rogers getting loose in the U.S. pen. The pitch. Jimenez pops it up. Shallow left coming in. Roman Anthony calling for it. Makes the catch for out number 1. And Suarez has to stay at second. So a huge first out with Ezequiel Tovar coming up. And Mark DeRosa is going to go to the mound to make a pitching change. He's going to go to get the submariner, Tyler Rogers. Venezuela on the Eugenio Suarez double has taken the lead in the top of the 9th inning. 1 out, man in scoring position. Venezuela 3, U.S. 2. You're listening to the finals of the World Baseball Classic on SiriusXM and the SiriusXM app.
This is an MLB Network Radio on SiriusXM Spring Training Tour Spotlight.
MLB Network Radio is getting you ready for opening day on SiriusXM. Hear interviews from all 30 spring training camps on the SiriusXM app, including our visit with the Seattle Mariners and their manager, Dan Wilson.
When you have a season like that, I think, we talk a lot about how the ceiling, there's a high ceiling, but I think it actually raises the floor. I think the expectation on this club is very different now.
Fresh off a 60-home run season, catcher Cal Raleigh can't wait to get going again in 2026.
I guess left a sour taste in our mouth there at the end, so we're all very obviously disappointed, but kind of leave that in the past and use that last year as maybe a stepping stone or a little something extra to help motivate us, for 2026.
Center fielder Julio Rodriguez can't wait for another taste of the postseason.
I mean, once you go into the playoff, man, like you play that deep and you experience like playoff baseball like that, it's just kind of addicting to say it like that. And I feel like not just me, but this whole team is definitely hungry to get back in it again, and I know it's going to be a great fight this year.
And general manager Justin Hollander thinks Seattle has the pieces in place for another deep run.
You want to have a mix of contact and impact throughout the order, and we feel like we have that at you.
Here are full spring training tour specials for all 30 teams on the SiriusXM app. Just search Spring Training. Now back to the World Baseball Classic.
3-2 Venezuela, top of the 9th inning. Eugenio Suarez, RBI double, has given the Venezuelans a 1-run lead over Team USA. Tyler Rogers is now on to face Ezequiel Tovar, the Blue Jays right-hander who got a huge ground ball out of Juan Soto at a big spot in the semifinals, making his second WBC appearance. And he and Tovar have histories, Billy.
Yeah, they've locked horns a couple times. 2 for 10 in Tovar's career against Rogers, including a homer.
Eugenio Suarez at second does not have great speed. First pitch is a breaking ball that misses away. It's 1-0.
Now, Tovar is one of the best low ball hitters in baseball, but Rogers has the upshoot fastball, so he's going to try to get that fastball above the belt.
Tovar 8 for 16 in the tournament, 2 hits tonight as he takes a strike. A sinker at 80 miles an hour on the outside corner. It's 1-1. There's hitting speed, there's below hitting speed, and then there's Tyler Rogers. The lowest release point in baseball. The pitch. Suarez runs, and Tovar pops it up on the infield. Suarez went sliding in his third. He has to race back to second as the second baseman, Terang, makes the catch for out number 2. That is a big break for Team USA because Suarez had third base stolen. 2 outs.
And you can't blame Tovar. I mean, you're just trying to hit.
I mean, everybody was surprised that he was running. And I believe the Team USA is going to ask for a challenge to make sure that Suarez retouched third base on his way back to second. The throw after the putout was recorded from Terang to Pregame, he went to go stand on the bag. Our third base umpire, the Canadian Chris Graham.
Oh yeah, he touched it on the way back.
He got lucky that he did. He just scraped the edge of it. But Chris Graham was on it and said that he did when they appealed to third. So they will check this, but Suarez got up and he just scraped the edge of the base running back. I mean, if he pops up directly on the bag and then runs back, this isn't even a call, but it makes it look like what they are concerned is that he went past third base, and he just did get it. And I don't think it was intentional that he did. U.S. using its second challenge in this inning. We await word from New York. Here's Dan Bellino.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. The runner did properly retouch. The U.S. is out of challenges for the remainder of the game.
All right, so 2 outs and a man at second now for Venezuela. They lead 3-2 in the top of the ninth, and here's Wilyer Abreu. Abreu, a solo home run in the fifth. That gave Venezuela a 2-0 lead. They held it to the eighth when Bryce Harper tied the game with a 2-out, 2-run blast. And Mark DeRosa is going to intentionally walk Wilyer Abreu. This is a no-brainer here with Sal Perez coming up.
Exactly. I mean, why mess with Wilyer Abreu right now? And for Salvador Perez, how about this? We know it's going to be his last WBC. He has a chance to get that dagger run, that jugular run that you want. And Perez, he can cover so much of the plate. I mean, he really does have incredible just back coverage that Rogers, even if you expand the strike zone, Salvador can punch it.
Submariner Rogers looks at the runner Suarez at second. Abreu's at first. First pitch. Perez checks and holds up on a pitch running in under his hands. It's 1-0. Daniel Palencia, the closer for Venezuela, ready in the pen. The U.S. will send Kyle Schwarber, Alex Bregman, and Roman Anthony as the scheduled hitters. The set, the 1-0. Swinging a liner to left. Going back on it is Anthony. He's got room. He makes the catch. And the inning is over. We head to the bottom of the ninth. It's the finals of the World Baseball Classic with Venezuela leading Team USA 3-2. Will this end in 9? You're listening to the World Baseball Classic on SiriusXM and the SiriusXM app.
When your favorite sports shows are talking football or basketball, it's always baseball season on MLB Network Radio on SiriusXM.
It is gone!
With a lineup full of experts, it's a daily insider's perspective from former players and executives. The national pastime all the time. MLB Network Radio on SiriusXM. Don't miss out on a free 3-month trial to SiriusXM. SiriusXM.com/WBC26.
Nobody brings you closer to our national pastime than MLB Network Radio on SiriusXM.
That's what's amazing about baseball.
It's a daily insider's perspective featuring former players, managers, and executives, and on-site coverage of the biggest moments.
It's a World Series win for LA!
This is the place for live baseball talk. MLB Network Radio, Channel 89, and the SiriusXM app.
Hey, this is Jeff Foxworthy.
This is Larry the Cable Guy.
And we're excited to tell you about our exclusive SiriusXM channel.
Jeff and Larry's Comedy Roundup. Every hour of every day, we're going to bring you the best comedy from some of the best and our favorite comedians.
Like Nate Borgazzi, Dusty Slay, and Leanne Morgan, just to name a few.
By the way, she owes me money.
And we each host our own shows every week.
Jeff and Larry's Comedy Roundup.
SiriusXM 97, your home for great American comedy.
With SiriusXM, you get nonstop baseball coverage on MLB Network Radio and every MLB game. Try 3 months free. SiriusXM.com/WBC26.
Bottom of the ninth inning. Finals of the WBC. Venezuela 3, Team USA 2. After the game, stay tuned for post-game coverage from the field here at Lone Depot Park with Danny Wexelman. Ryan Spilborg's Mike Farron with you. Daniel Palencia, the Chicago Cubs, trying to close out the first ever WBC championship for Team Venezuela. It'll be Kyle Schwarber. Gunnar Henderson is grabbed a bat and will pinch hit for Alex Bregman next. And then Roman Anthony, 3 lefties against Palencia. They were his kryptonite last year.
Yeah, I mean, the slugging percentage against lefties goes way up versus righties, and you'll probably see Cal Raleigh pinch hit for Will Smith as well.
More than 200 points higher against lefties than righties. First pitch to Schwarber. He takes the ball high, 1-0.
Well, it was a walk that started off the inning for Venezuela. They came back to bite him. A walk right here for USA would be huge. Any leadoff hitter would be a big deal.
The pitch. Schwarber hits a dribbler up along first and foul. It's 1-1.
One of my favorite quotes is that pressure is a privilege.
And nobody believes that more than Kyle Schwarber, who is born for these moments. Can he deliver for Team USA? They trail by a run. The 1-1. Schwarber swings and misses. That was a hanging off-speed pitch in the count, 1-2. The chance of Ponche for a strikeout continue. The set. Valencia ready in the 1-2. Schwarber takes way high. It's 2-2.
Wilson Contreras is playing first base for Venezuela, and that's one of the hardest things to do, is to come off the bench and play defense when you're trying to get the last 3 outs to win this tournament.
The 2-2. Schwarber swings and misses, out number 1. And a pinch hitter for Team USA, it's Gunnar Henderson, who's been one of their hottest hitters in this tournament. He tied the semifinal against the Dominican Republic with a solo homer off Luis Severino. And with the substitution, Salvador Perez going to go to the mound and talk to Palencia.
Yeah, all this is just trying to settle him down. Slow it down. Take a breath. Salvador Perez, he's won a World Series. He knows what this feels like. He's the perfect guy to calm down your pitching staff.
Outfield very deep for Henderson. Abreu in left, Churio in center, Acuna in right. Palencia sent, the left-handed hitting former Rookie of the Year waits, and he takes high, 1-0. Venezuela had a 2-0 lead till 2 outs in the 8th when Bryce Harper tied it with a homer. They reclaimed the lead in the 9th on a Suarez double. The pitch, swinging a pop-up right around the mound, coming down the line. The third baseman Garcia has it, 2 outs. And now Venezuela is 1 out away from winning the WBC. And the final chance for the U.S. will be the man that gave them the lead in the semifinals, Roman Anthony. The youngest player ever to hit a go-ahead homer in the semis of the World Baseball Classic. Now they need him to deliver to tie the game in the bottom of the 9th. Venezuela 3, Team USA 2. Palencia set. The righty's first pitch. Upstairs at 98, it's 1-0.
Yeah, overcooked fastball. I mean, this tension in this building is incredible.
Palencia sent the 1-0. A strike on the outside corner at 98. 1-1.
There's not one player on the field that doesn't feel a knot in their belly.
Valencia needs a timeout to tie his right shoe.
We were watching Venezuela. Guys are kind of dancing around. You see them take deep breaths. Roman Anthony right now is probably appreciative of Palencia tying his shoe because he's had a chance. He kind of takes a big deep breath, a big stretch.
Does a deep bend at the waist as he digs back in. The second-year Red Sox emerging star waits. The 1-1. Anthony takes strike 2. A splitter on the inside part of the plate. And now Venezuela is 1 strike away from winning the World Baseball Classic. Venezuela 3, Team USA 2. 2 outs, last of the 9th. Palencia will step off and wants Perez to go over the signs with him as he was having trouble hearing his pitch count. It is so loud in this place, I can't blame him.
Well, even Dan Molino, he was like, yeah, no, I don't have to check to see if it's working or not. I know exactly what you're going through.
The wrist LEDs that everybody in the crowd were handed are flashing right now. 1 and 2 the count, 2 outs. 3-2 Venezuela, U.S. batting last of the ninth. Palencia set, the 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss! Venezuela wins the WBC! Nine players fall to their knees. They can't believe it. They've done it. They upset the U.S. Venezuela is the 2026 WBC champions. The entire team bouncing around Palencia in front of the mound. The flamethrower blows through 3 left-handed all-stars to win the game for Venezuela and clinch the WBC championship. The final tonight, Venezuela 3, Team USA 2. What a finish.
What a finish. What a finish. Just seeing Venezuela, you can tell how much this means to them. There's tears. Michael Garcia fell to his knees in third. He had his head in the dirt. The bullpen for Venezuela, known as the Fire Eaters. They just swallowed up Team USA's bats. And for the first time, Venezuela, they get to call themselves champions of this amazing tournament.
Their first ever finals appearance. A country that loves this sport so much.